Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dave. Welcome to LoFiTrader. We have a doozy for you today, guys. I'm pumped, and you should be pumped too. Why? Well, it finally broke that level. It finally broke that level. Let's see what we got going on in the market today, guys. It's going to be a good day. We got our coffee back here. Speaking of which, bada bing, bada boom. Now it broke that line. See that? There was confluency. I even posted about it last night. Actually, I said, if the SPY ends up breaking that line, if we take a look at that, would you take a look at that? We'll take a look at it. If it ends up breaking this area, I'm risk off. The 200's broke, We're trading at 393.07. 393.07. Let's see. 393. We're right on the line. So I'm still standing here with my hands up. Oh no, don't know what to do, but I got a list of tickers that I'm looking at, because if we look at the tickers that in the overall stock market that are being held down while the market's being held down and those tickers are being held up, those are the tickers we're going to look at for a longer term swing trade. But in the meantime, we're going to sit back, relax, and see what the market wants to give us. So let's take a look at some exciting stocks right off the get this morning. We got MTC trading at $2.24. It looks like every time we've had MTC pop up, it's always popped up a nice, well, not always, but it pops up a nice juicy much and then gets sold off hard. So that's 1, 2, 3 that I could see right off the get. We zoom in here, it looks like 4, and it looks like we're getting another pop here. Now, where is this thing going to go? Well, we can look at some of these key levels back here. We have this level right here. It's got a little over 3 million on it. So we go like this, and we'll just, so we know where the VWAP area is. And let's see what else we got back here. We come back here, we got, a little bit here. Nothing crazy. There's like no volume in that last one. So here, we got a little bit here. It almost looks like it's been canceled out though. So nothing too really crazy back here. We got in the 20s. We got this one here. Oh, it's 13 mil. I'd say that's what we're looking for. So let's see what else. Just make sure, nothing in between. So guys, if we look at this, I marked it out on the daily so you can see. Okay. Now, if we look at this, what happened here? This is our highest patch of resistance until we get all the way up to $6. All right. So if we take a look at this thing, not only did it get up to that liquidity area, it touched it, it pulled back, it held sideways, it pushed back up into it, and then broke out through it. Okay, so that's what we're seeing going on right now. Now, I don't want to make any kind of crazy predictions or anything like that, but I imagine this thing's going to fizzle off. I imagine like this is its blow off top, but here's the thing. These runners can catch a lot of attention, and if it has blown through its resistance, that resistance can actually act as support. So be careful if this comes down and it starts to size in, or it starts to trade sideways on you, and it starts to show some strength, then, good morning, B. Stewie. Love the coffee pot in the office. Yeah, that's right. You got to have the coffee pot in the office. And New Vision's here. Good morning, New Vision. It's good to see you. Pumped you guys are here. Pumped that you guys are here for the early morning special. Make sure we get everything in line. Make sure we know what's going on before it happens. At least we can have a game plan, right? No crystal balls, but maybe once we get one, B, we're going to put it right here. We're going to put that crystal ball right there. It's going to be a beautiful thing. I'm going to whip it out anytime anybody asks for a prediction. I'm going to say, let me grab that crystal ball real quick, see if it's working. But ONCS is going to be another one we're going to keep an eye on the small cap lamb, and same as CDIO. Guys, we talked about CDIO a few times. I kept telling you, if it held this area, this 340 area, and it just keeps trading sideways, we had it all marked out, I put the liquidity level and it broke through, and then it just hung around at these tops and traded sideways. Now, of course, I can't take that trade because I'm waiting for a moving average to catch up. and I just don't have the best read on these unless it looks like an accumulation on the 5-minute, which it's not the prettiest looking thing, but yeah, this could work out. I mean, you could look at this breakout right here, and this is one that you got to be patient with because it doesn't look like it's doing anything crazy. It's just ranging in this dollar area, but after a big move, a big move up like this, you just set this on your watch list, set it, and set an alert down here so when it comes on, if you see a big push of liquidity here, then you got something going on. So definitely one to keep an eye on. These small caps are hard to trade, guys. I've known people that they only trade these small caps and they make excellent money on it. Good morning, Richard. Good to see you. Absolutely. I don't know what you guys are drinking, but I got some black coffee here. Let you take a little peeky gander. Ain't no creamer. Black is my shirt. It looks like I got dandruff today. Look at this shirt, man. It looks like I got, and he's like, somebody put some Head and Shoulders on that man's scalp, would you? Anyway, guys, we got an awesome show for you today. I am absolutely pumped. We got earnings. We got we got to keep in mind at 8:30 today we have jobless claims that comes out. So if you guys don't know what jobless claims are, I'll just read it to you. The report's actually called initial jobless claims, and it measures the numbers of individuals who filed for unemployment insurance for the first time during the past week. This is the earliest U.S. economic data, but the market impact varies from week to week. Now, I'll give you my take on the initial claims, okay? They say in here, a higher than expected reading should be taken negative on the US dollar, okay? Which means if we lose, if it shows that we're losing, if there's more, let's put it this way, if there's more jobless claims, guys, if the more than expected comes out, that should look good for the overall market. That should look good because that means that Papa Powell and his quantitative easing and everybody laying off and being restricted to spend this money, that simply means that they can't. If there's less jobs, less people can spend money, which means prices cannot become so inflated because less money is being spent. Okay, so keep that in mind when this comes out. How I perceive it and how the market perceives it could be two completely different things, but that comes out at 8:30, so make sure that you stay tuned because I will get that out within 30 seconds of it coming out. You're going to see the market, obviously, the market's going to react first and then the news because the algorithms and people who trade, that have their trading algorithms are going to read that way faster than we can, but that's why I say we don't try and predict what's going to happen with these initial jobless claims data. Instead, we try to react with these initial jobless claims data. So keep that in mind, guys. When this comes out, I will definitely be reading it off for you. We will definitely keep an eye on that. So let's see what else. Yeah, coffee all the way, dang straight, Richard. Yeah, so TRKA, heck yeah, guys. That's definitely a big one on the watch list. That TRKA looks absolutely phenomenal. We were talking about this earlier about how this isn't a trade for me simply because the moving averages haven't caught up. But keep in mind, those moving averages just need a little bit of time, and I might be right there with you holding a few shares of TRKA, but I need for my setup to show. So that doesn't mean that there aren't setups today or there's setups tomorrow, but that TRKA is looking great, tapping that 50-cent area, guys. So I always like to take a look back here and see, where is there any liquidity above us that looks like it's going to hurt this roll. And from what it looks like, this liquidity is just, we're getting, 236 million. And I know we looked this up yesterday, guys, but we're going to look it up again just because TRKA is, it's a really hot topic, okay? Not like the store, okay? It's not sad and depressed. No, only teasing. I love Hot Topic. I really like all their prints on their shirts. They got good quality stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to check the float on this thing, and I like to do this with you guys just so you know how to do it because we all want to be self-sufficient, right? I could do all the work for you, and I don't mind doing all the work for you because I'm a hard worker, but I want to make sure that anybody watching me knows how to do this and how to do it for free. You don't need to pay anybody any money. I'm not going to ask you for any money, and you shouldn't pay anybody any money, ever. learn this on your own, find it on YouTube, find it on Google, and if you want to take a stretch and reach out to make a little bit more money or spend a little bit more money on your future, look into some legitimate programs. Okay, guys, we're looking at around a 50 million float. We got 67 at Ameritrade, 29 at Yahoo. We're just going to call this 50. It's an easy round number to remember, okay? So this thing moves like a 50 million float. If you don't know how a stock moves at 50 million float, that's okay. That just means you're newer to this or you haven't reverted the number with the way the stock moves yet. So this is a 50 million TRKA is, and because it has so much volume, it's going to move like a smaller float, okay? So just keep that in mind, how much volume is being played and what size float this is and where we're at, okay? So with a 50 million float, and this thing, let's see, this morning, the pre-market volume has already traded 10 million of that float, guys, 10 million of that float, okay? So what traders like to see is that float rotating, meaning new buyers are coming in, meaning if it's spent its float, if it's spent 50 million shares in volume, then we got more and new traders coming in to trade it, okay? So you can see just yesterday, we had 150 million. So the float rotated 3 times almost yesterday, guys, 3 times. And that's that's a pretty big deal. That's a pretty big deal. Okay, and if this keeps up and it keeps up in this area and it keeps trading sideways, I talked about this yesterday. If it keeps trading sideways and holding this 39 area, we have the ability to push higher. Now, I didn't know it was going to do that overnight. I didn't know it was going to do that at end of day. But when you see these things and if you really stay hawked on them, you might be able to find yourself a nice little trade. Just make sure you know where your stop is, okay, guys? So that is my take on TRKA, and it's looking good. I like it. Let's run through the indices really quick, and every time I do this, so I'm going to stay focused. I'm going to start on the indices, and we're going to get through all of my major indices. If you think that I need to add an indice, let me know. But I get wildly distracted by the comments and everything, and that's totally fine because that's what I'm here for. But when we do this segment, when I say, hey, we're going to go through the indices, I think that's the time where I'm going to focus up. We're going to get through the indices, so that way we know exactly what's going on right now at 8:12. And then we will go through it again, probably 2 more times before the market open, so we have the overall understanding and the satisfaction to know where our supply and demand zone levels are, okay? So let me take a little sip Shawana, and we'll run through these indices, babies. Any questions you guys have, I will answer them right after we go through these indices. Just let them rack up, baby, because I'm not going to miss that chat. And that is some good coffee. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. Okay, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Now we have the SPY. Goodness gracious, good old SPY. We are trying to defend this 200 area, this 200-day moving area. Can we defend that area? Well, as you can see, we've already broke that area. We've broke that in the aftermarket and the pre-market. We are lingering like a fart under the covers. So when you do that, please keep in mind that this thing has the ability to fall and just fail. I hear... Oh, it's on my phone. I was like, I hear myself somewhere. What the heck's going on here? So I definitely need to get this thing off here really quick. That should take care of that. All right, here we go. We're going through the indices. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about the delay. When I say delay, I give you about 10 seconds. And you're like, goodness gracious, did this guy keel? Wrong again. Let's go through the indices. The SPY trying to hold that 200-day moving average. Goodness gracious, a great balls of fire. Time will tell if this is going to shape up. Now, we don't want to head below, because if we head below, then any pop that we get, I'm going to look to short the market, right? Because that is where I am defending. I am a bear with bull horns. I want to see this market go up, but it looks pretty darn weak. So let's try to defend this area, bulls, but bears, let's get our claws sharpened. IWM still looking extremely strong compared to the SPY and the Qs. Why do I say that? Look at the 200-day moving average. It is still up, trading around its 30-day moving average, let alone well above its 200-day moving average. So the IWM, the Russell, which has 2,000 equities roughly, businesses in that ETF. They are small to mid caps. They're just hanging out, and they're doing A-OK. It seems like the bigger stocks are the ones we're having an issue with. Speaking of bigger stocks, we have Netflix finally trying to break, and now has broke, that 316, 315 area and is headed lower now, which this could be a very constructive pullback on the daily if you look at Netflix, because simply put, we have had a beautiful push and the 200-day moving average is curling. So constructive pullback. In my personal opinion, I would say that is constructive after this huge push up with the overall market still bleeding out of its butt. I would say, yeah, this is looking A-OK right now for Netflix. But if we start breaking this trend line and we start heading lower below this 200-day moving average, that is where I will start to get squeamish. So Netflix still looking good. Now Microsoft, as we talked about, it was lingering around that 200-day moving average, and we don't want to see that thing linger around there. We're seeing it lingering. We want to see it head higher, right? If it's going to trade sideways, we want to see a break to the high side. But instead, this thing broke down and is trading below that 200-day moving average. Absolute yuck for Microsoft. Hopefully, it can shape up. In the sidelines, we have Amazon. And I've told you guys this, and I even drew the supply area out up top here. It's trading sideways, but every time it would pop up into this area of liquidity, this $95 area, it would sell off. And we had one more day of that. Yesterday, I think I pulled this out for you guys. I pulled this out to let you know, yeah, we're up here, but we're still in the supply area. And sure enough, we had a pop. It broke through it. It popped back up, got the rest of everyone out, and just sold off hard. So let's take a look at Meta. So Meta was looking good while the overall market was pulling back, if you guys remember, and it had this beautiful push. But I said, guys, pay attention. It's pushing right up into its first area of liquidity. Let me zoom out here on the 1 hour to get a better understanding. Look at this. Drew this gray matter out for you. This is its area of liquidity. Above that is the 185 area. It couldn't even get back up to that 185 area after it touched this last time and sold off. Then it came up here, created a nice little pocket, sold off once into it, and once it got back up into it, we are headed back down. Now, is it going to trade between this 170 and this 187? If it does that, 177. If it does that, that's honestly a really, really good sign, guys. It's a really, really good sign. Simply because we want to see the sideways action. All of this, we don't want to see all of this being given back. We want to see this thing trade sideways and keep on keeping on, so that way we can head higher, because we know Meta is a very big stock in the overall S&P 500. So if we want to see the market shape up, we also want to see Meta shaping up as well. So next up, Buttercup, we got NVDA. As you guys remember, too bad Alex isn't here this early with us in the morning, because I'm going to give him a shout out anyway. Alex, yesterday, one of the first things he brought up was he wanted to see NVIDIA give a little pop and a sell-off. And this was the pop he got in the morning. Look, right into this area of liquidity. The next area is right up here in this 235. We could draw them out, but I think you guys are starting to get the hint. And if you ever want me to draw them out, just let me know, and I will be absolutely happy to, because these seem to be working out very, very well for us on the show. So it came up here, this little pop right into this VWAP area from 224.23, so just a couple days ago, guys, last month. And now it is selling off. Now, will it hold this area? If it can hold this area, trade sideways for a few days, just kind of like I've been talking, guys. If we can find that supply area, this is a little bit of a supply area. It's going to trade sideways and then maybe push higher. But we're going to have some proving to do, because it is pretty, we can't really call it extended. It is a little extended. I mean, look at this push with the overall market pulling out. It's looking very strong against the overall market. So I would say this is still considered a constructive pullback in NVDA. Now let's take a look at Uncle Tesla. Oh, good old Uncle Tesla. Now, guys, you remember, look at, I don't even have to say it, right? We drew this area of liquidity, and we talked about this 200. I can't tell you how many times. I mean, I think I've said the word 200 because of the 200-day moving average and the psychological $200 area on Tesla. That's why we're here. That's why we're trading around it, because this area is very psychological. So the 200 and this 210 we talked about. Okay, now check it out, guys. I'm sorry, the 410 was on the SPY. So we were talking about the 200 specifically on Tesla. And I told you guys, if we're above 200, I'm bullish. If we're below it, I'm bearish. Now, we had this beautiful run up and this thing trade sideways. We played this. We made money here and got out of that supply, right? Came back and stopped out the other half for break even. Did the same thing. We did that a few times, guys. And then once we've seen this trade sideways, we've seen this push up, we've seen the overall market look weak. I drew this area of liquidity just so everybody knew not to get their hopes up. This is a nice push off of a nice bull flag. We'll call it a bull flag, but you never really know. This bull flag, it pops up and then it sells right off into this liquidity. So when it came back down to this 200, I remember New Vision was saying, hey, it's bouncing off that 200 area. And that's why I told you yesterday, New Vision, I said, well, don't get excited. I'm not trusting anything off of this, because anytime we've had a pop, it's fell. And then we started making lower highs, and then we popped back up, but we didn't make a new high. We made a new lower high. And so then it fell down. So I didn't expect this thing to give us much of anything. And then if it did, it wasn't going to be much of a move at all. So that's why I brought that up. New Vision yesterday is like, yeah, we're bouncing off that 200, but that 200 has had 1, 2, 3, 4. This would be its 5th area now to try and actually push on higher through it. So that's just kind of the sentiment. You know, I just had a bad feeling about it. I didn't once say it was going to break down to here. I thought it was going to trade around that 200 for a while. So definitely did not call this move, but when you see it breaking down like that, these are the distribution days. These are the days where, you know, they're selling everything out and there's no more buyers, you know. So keep that in mind. So let me get through this and we'll check out the comments. So look how beautiful this is. We looked at this on the hourly, but I even drew this on the daily. Like, look at this area. I mean, there's a huge area down here for supply. And Google, finally, thank you, Google. This is finally some good news in the market, guys. Now, there's a lot of wick off on the top, but Google is looking good. It's finally touching a liquidity area, and it's making new higher lows on the hourly. So that is actually a good sign for Google. Thank you, Google, for at least letting me bring some good news to the market. We're almost through these, guys, and then we will get to your questions. Q, good old Qs. So Qs are sitting right on top of that 200-day moving average. Actually, I take that back. The Qs are now trading, right on top of that 200-day moving average. So it's sitting just below. Be really, really careful, guys. I told you about this. I'm bearish when it comes to these under the 200-day moving average, but it's kind of it's too close to tell. You know, if we chop around this 200 for a while, it could still be constructive. But personally, right now, I'm going to be risk off anything under that 200-day moving average. So today is going to be the all tell. It's going to really show us, hey, are we going to get a little pop and then sell everything off, or are we going to get a pop and then trade sideways? You know, or maybe we don't even get a pop at all. How weak is the market? So we're going to see that. Apple breaking down here. It's below its 200-day moving average, looking like every other indice except for some of the other ones like Meta and Netflix. Things are failing, guys. Things are failing, and if it doesn't shape up here today, well, we might be in for a world of hurt. So we're going to look at just a couple more things. I like to look at the Dow Jones just because it's your overall. These are what I call your Coca-Cola stocks. That's what I'm going to call them. These are your Coca-Cola stocks. They're your big stocks, your big boats. And look at this. It's traveling right down to that 200-day moving average as well. It's going to try and defend. We'll see if these big boats want to try and defend. And then, of course, your dollar. Your dollar index is starting to pop up today. We're at 104. We want to see this dollar index stay below this 200-day moving average because we know we have an inverse correlation with the dollar. If the dollar goes up, our equities go down. And if you have money that are tied up in these equities like a 401k, a Roth IRA, or any type of investing strategy, well, then your money is going to lose money when your dollar is going up. Because why would you put money into equities if your dollar is making more in your savings account, right? Okay. So, guys, that is my take on the indices. And, of course, we will come back to these. If you want me to go deeper on any one of those, usually we have a lot of people asking about Tesla. Just ask. Throw it up in the comments. I am here for you. I want to be your commentator. I want to be your commentator, and I want to do analysis for you. So let me be your voice. Throw it up in the comments section now. Let me get through the comments, but guys, please do keep in mind, I'm here every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 until 12. I love the stock market, and if you love it even half as much as I do, hit that subscription button because I will be here for you. I want to be your voice, all right? Hit that sub, baby. Let's get through these comments, and then we will check on our small cap stocks. All right. BRTX, look at that crazy stock. All right, we got London on the track. Ginger, Mama's here. Mama, good morning, good morning, good morning. She said, morning, got my latte and ready to go. Well, cheers to you. I hope you have an amazing day at work, and I do appreciate you being here and always supporting me. Sim, what's going on? Good morning, good morning. Can you please look at Boyle? I will look at Boyle. It's been a long time since I've actually looked at Boyle. I don't even remember what it is now. So let's see. It looks like it's an ETF. What is this an ETF of? Bloomberg? Really? I gotta figure this out now. So let's see. Boyle ETF. ProShares Ultra Blue. Oh, natural gas. Okay, cool. Cool. So this is a natural gas ETF, guys. Oh, wow. What is going on down here? There's like a ton of volume at this base. ProShares ETF. So this is an interesting one. This is very interesting, and I'm really happy that you brought this up in the chat. So this is an ETF, guys. This moves 11%. Holy guacamole. Okay, guys, well, it looks like we have this V-shaped bottom here. Now, I haven't talked about a V-shaped bottom, but I will point this out because look at all this volume that's being created here. So I don't know I don't know anything about Boyle. I'm just going to say that out loud. I don't know anything about Boyle. I've never heard about this, but I will say this is very interesting, and it's an ETF that I'm just going to throw up on our watch list that we go through because this looks like it's really shaping up, guys. This really does. I mean, we have this base here that it broke down out of, right, around this 571. It broke down. It made this V-shaped bottom. Didn't just catch this, but it barely pulled back, and it's trading up, and now it looks like it's about to take off here. So I like this. I think I'm really going to want to keep an eye on this, actually, because it's surprising when you see an ETF. Why do I sound so surprised? Because it's surprising to see an ETF like this, first of all, that trades at 11%, okay? Now, granted, I don't know much about this ticker, but look at this base. Look at this volume here. If we look at the daily, this thing barely ever trades any volume. And then all of a sudden, right at this V-shaped bottom, we start getting a ton of sell-off and then a ton of buying coming in. So that makes that a really, really interesting little thing for me here, guys. Now, you have to keep in mind, obviously, it's trading well below its 200-day moving average. If we look at the overall history of this thing, it just looks like it constantly is selling off, okay? So we really need to look at the overall picture and the history of this. It looks like absolute garbage, but on the same hand, I don't see any volume coming in over there. So unless there's something going on that I'm not aware of, this looks pretty healthy to me. I like it. I like it. So I'm happy. I'm happy if you're happy. Let's, I want to make sure I got this up. Good. Guys, I wanted to, we'll go over that in a minute, actually. That's fine. We'll go over that in a minute. Let's see. It's making a slight move now. Tesla, 186 to 187. Yeah, so, we'll take a look at that really quick. We'll throw up Tesla, but we need to go over, guys, some of the smaller caps. Yeah, guys, if we get a pop in Tesla, New Vision, if you get a pop in Tesla, this is all overhead resistance now, like all of this. Now, this isn't a good place to go short, right? Because we've already had this huge sell-off. I'm expecting for it to at least catch somewhere and give you a little pop before it sells off even harder. But just keep that in mind. We're going to be probably chopping around here for a little bit until market open, but expect to see some kind of pop and then maybe somewhere in this 194 area, a sell off. So I could just draw that out now so you guys don't think I'm just making up crap. But I'm thinking somewhere like this. I'm thinking it's somewhere it's going to pop up, and then we're going to get an even bigger sell-off. Unless the market can strengthen up, you know. If the market can strengthen up, you know, I think Tesla's got a chance. But, you know, it's not looking too good with the overall market. I mean, if we look at the SPY here, we're failing. We're failing these areas. You know, if we get a pop, you know, I'll probably be short in the market today because it broke that $200-day moving average. But again, we got to see. We got to see. Only time's going to tell. This is what we're doing for pre-market prep, guys. We got a full hour for pre-market prep, and that's the best thing about it. If you can allow yourself to relax, set up, let everything set up in front of you, then you can pick your key levels, you can pick what you want to do, and then you can take those trades that are so important, okay? So, goodness, why doesn't everybody tell me I have this huge, my face was huge on this. Wow. Okay, well, you guys don't have to worry, I brought it back down now. Thanks a lot, guys, thanks. Come on, you got to tell me, like, hey, get your big head out of the way. I can't see the dang screens. Oh man, it looks like I'm like all of a sudden David's conceded today. He wants everybody to take a look at me. You know, like, let me know next time, guys. I just want that open for a little embarrassing, but hey, that's part of it, right? That's part of it. So, hey, okay. So keep in mind, guys, we got Tesla. It looks like it's failing. SPY is actually dropping right now. It's at 392. So we're going to throw SPY up here on the right-hand side so we can just keep a better eye on what exactly is going on right here, right now. We'll even throw this up on the 5-minute because I'm feeling frisky. So right here is what's going on with your S&P 500. Now, on the left-hand side, what we're going to keep an eye on, guys, is we have CDIO. That CDIO is looking mighty fine, isn't it? Now, if we can get this thing to trade sideways like it did, we might have another push higher. Or this thing might go skyrocket. It might go to the moon. I have no idea. ONCS. Look at these ranges. It builds these areas, like these $2 areas, you know? Look at that. And then 225 pushes up higher. Now 250. Now 269. ONCS trading. Looking very good. Very, very good. MTC looks like it's giving back some of those gains on that push. Did we talk about this? No, we did talk about this earlier this morning. So, like, I think what I was telling you guys was there's nothing up here. You know, there's nothing up here. There's nothing going on. Like, there's no liquidity up there. There's no. It just seems like it pushed through this liquidity. We had a ton of short sellers, probably like right here. Yeah, that's exactly what happened, guys. Let me take a sip of coffee. This just got me excited. Check this out. Let me look a little deeper into MTC and give you my take. So, yeah, so this thing back here, if we look, it had over 3 million volume traded, right? And then it came up in the past couple days with 6 million and 3 million volume. It came up in this area and it broke back down. Then it came up again, and look, you can see right here, like this is the liquidity area that I have marked out for you guys, okay? And you can see it tried to get shorted right here, right in that liquidity area. See what happened here, guys? This is very impressive. It's so cool that you can actually see this. Okay, so I marked that liquidity area at that VWAP. It was just a touch higher, Like if we want to get really goofy with this, I mean, it was right there on the daily. See that? Now look right here where you see that little hiccup. It gets hicked up. Everybody short sells into it. It gets bought back up, and look what happens, guys. Oh, it's so cool to see this. And then it pushes up and it retests that area. It comes down, it retests that area, and it launches up, just squeezing everybody out of their shorts. You know, a bunch of people, if they were short in this, they were stuck in this, and that hurt. That hurt them. So you got to be really careful in these, guys. That's why we always talk about being careful and knowing where your stop is and not allowing yourself to be in any of these really speculative trades overnight. I've had a few friends that were just like having stomach ulcers because they would take a trade and they would hold these speculative stocks overnight. And a few of them might be listening, actually. Let's see, we got SPY 392.52. New Vision says, good morning, homie. Good morning, Stu Klott. Stu Klott, I'm even going to take another sip Shawana just for you, sir. Good morning. It's always good to have my mentors in here. Yesterday, it was beautiful to be able to look at Apple and call out Stu Klott's beautiful RSI trade. He made around, I couldn't remember, was it 8%? 8% on that, which is an awesome trade. Anything, guys, anything that you make, anytime that you're green, you know, I want to talk about it. Like, let's bring up the good news, especially with the SPY pulling back like this. Tell me how you're making money, because I want to hear about it. I want to preach about it, baby, because I love good news. Looks like Matt, Overdraft, what's going on? Hi, do you have any wins yet? So actually, the past 2 days with the market pulling back like it is, we actually have been just managing some trades. So we can go over my trades right now if you want. If you guys notice on the daily, I drew out kind of like this wonky cup and handle. I don't really like the way this looks, but I just did this for me, okay? I did this for me. I want to see where, you know, where the stock is, and just so I have it in my head. So now when I zoom in here on the 5 minute, I can see this red line coming down, so it justifies, you know, kind of where this is. So I took this break. I took this break a couple of days ago, yesterday, I believe, and we're still in the stock. It looks like it's doing us well. We're up a couple cups of coffee on this thing. So this is where I got in. This will be my stop loss. And what I'm expecting for this thing to do, and I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it'll come up here, it'll create a nice little cup, another little cup right here. It'll trade sideways, and then it'll take off. It'll be off to the races, and it will start heading higher. So what I like about this thing is you have this overall on this new IPO pushing all the way through. So this thing has the chance past that 35 to really soar and head higher. So this right now, yeah, I'm winning, but it's, you know, it's just a small amount of money. Let's look at ELF. So ELF looks like it is right down here to my stop loss. So this trade here, I'm going to be down a couple bucks. It looks like $16 loss on this trade. Actually, that's just for today. Nope, that's total. So that's going to be a $16 loss. We'll probably end up getting out of here in the morning. With the overall market pulling back like this and me taking trades to try and defend that 200, I wasn't expecting to win here. I was expecting to lose with the overall market pulling back. Now, if I would have known, if I had a crystal ball and didn't think it was going to take, then I would have got out of more of my positions before that happened. So we have one winning, one small losing, and we have XM that's still trading sideways on that area. If I zoom in here, you can see where my entry point is and where my stop loss will be. Even though the market's pulling back, I'm not going to get out of this position because it has been looking overall strengthly the whole time. The market has been looking like crap. DHT is just another small winner. This is where I got in. This is the peak from another area for a top, and I'm still in this. We're only up maybe a creamer, like nothing big, guys, nothing big. But I have 2 or 3 winners and 1 loser, but I'm still managing those trades, and we'll see how the market wants to shape up for us at market open at 9:30. So thank you for being here, ladies and gentlemen. If you're here, you're doing yourself a favor. Why? Because before the market opens, before the volatility comes in, we need to know where our levels are set. Now, as you can see, we are breaking down on the SPY. We are breaking it down on a lot of the indices. We will go over the indices again if you missed it, but that's A-okay. I'm glad you are here because now you can formulate a plan. You can find a way to extrapolate that money from the market. And knowing your risk, you'll be able to trade again another day. So if you take a hit, no, trading is hard, guys. That's why I'm here. That's why I do commentary, analysis, and live trading to show you trading is like being in a submarine. You are under pressure. And now I do it all right here in front of you live every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 until 12. So if you like it, if you want it, and you want to see more of it, hit that subscribe button. Let's catch up on the chat. Bibbidi boppity boop is what 12YRN Fat says. He says, would you not hold TRKA overnight then? Question mark. Second day on regular show. Things are only just starting to look spicy. Yeah, baby. What's going on, 12? 12 years in fat? I got it now. 12 years in fat. 12 years in fat. I love the name. I absolutely love you being here. And yeah, TRAK. So, or TRKA, excuse me for not knowing how to spell. So TRKA is very, very spicy. Now, I'm not saying I wouldn't hold this overnight if it was small share size. So as long as you are maintaining your risk. So if I knew that this thing can move 20%, right? I know that this thing can move 20%. Let's just look where 20% can go. Let's say I wanted to use this 3.9 as my stop, right? And I got in here. Well, this thing can move. Let's see what 20% looks like. 20% is right here. So it can push down this far. So what I'm saying is my stop loss, my risk to reward isn't there, because if I wake up the next morning, this thing has the ability to drop all the way down to here. So I wouldn't be able to hold that overnight. But if I was okay with taking a gamble trade, because this isn't in my wheelhouse, right? Now I could have got in here today and held, or yesterday and held this. And if it was up to here, do I want to hold this overnight? Well, let's see. Is this 20% to my risk? That's 18. So sure, I could do that. I could do that because I could use this low, right? So say I was in this during the day and it pops up on volume and we start trading sideways up here. Now I'm a little bit more comfortable with holding that overnight, you see? I'm holding that overnight now because now if we get a big dip, we get that 20% drop, it's coming right into my stop loss, right? And now I'm safe to hold it overnight for that expected move even higher, okay? So if I were trading TRKA and I seen this dip and I seen this area hold yesterday and I said, you know what, I believe in TRKA and I think this is gonna go higher, yeah, I could get in here, I can maybe get some out here so my risk is actually being managed, and then when TRKA does come back down, say it does stop me out, I've already made money on the trade. So that's a way to look at it. Now, I do want you to keep in mind that's not how I trade. I'm just looking at the levels and giving you kind of the psychology behind the analytics, behind the technical analysis on this, okay? And if you look at on the daily, what I'm actually looking for is this thing to just keep trading sideways. If it keeps trading sideways and some of these moving averages catch up to it, then I won't consider this thing extended. I'll pop my booty up in that trade and I will take it for a ride all day. So let's go. Let's see what we got going on here. Yeah, 12 years in fat, says Legend. That's awesome, man. I do appreciate you being here. Thank you for showing up for pre-market prep. Here's a quick sip of coffee and we are going to go through this list. We have CDIO trading at $7.50. We have HPX trading sideways after that amazing move yesterday. My buddy, I don't even know what to call him, Heiser. We'll call him Heiser because that's easier than calling him his other name, which is like something Joe Biden husband's trader or something. It's crazy. But this thing moved up 369%. It moved all the way up to $50. When? Goodness gracious. Well, we were awake. We were here. Why didn't I talk about it yesterday? Totally missed this thing. Totally blew past me. I think this gapper scanner here, if it was up, I didn't look at it very much yesterday. So if we got small cap stock guys in here, you need to let me know so that way I could keep a closer hawk eye on what's going on. Or you let me know what's going on so that way I can put it right here in the bottom so we can make sure we're alerted to it. Look who's in here. Granny Ranny. Good old Grandma Ranny. Granny Ranny, good to see you. She is our low float whale of a stock trader. Be careful. She will squeeze you out of any stock that you're in, dropping millions. Baby, good morning. God bless you. I love you. She is my guardian angel. Ladies and gentlemen, if you did not know, you know what? We got to go ahead and throw some cookies up in there. We got to throw some chocolate chip cookies up in there for old Granny Ranny. I got to figure out how to spell first, though. That's for you, Grandma. Good morning. Mikey Investing's here. We know we're going to have a good day if Mikey pops in. Good morning, Mikey. It is awesome to see you. It looks like our 200-day moving average, the downtrend line, the uptrend line, is just trading sideways. It's getting chopped up in the SPY, guys. So be careful out there. I do hope it holds up, but where it's at right now, I'm just going to hold my breath, right? We're in that submarine today. Rabia's here, ladies and gentlemen. You know it's going to be an amazing day. Rabia, let's go over Tesla since I know you're already going to ask. We've already went over this first thing this morning, guys, but we're going to go over it one more time because Rabia is here. And I know Rabia likes her some Tesla or him. I don't even know. Why do I match? I'm trying to match genders up, but we got Tesla, guys. So Tesla, this is looking messy. I'm just going to get everything off this. We're clearing this drawing set, and I will redraw what I have on here. So when you put this on the hourly, all right, let's take a look at this, guys. So if I draw this out now, if I draw this level out right here, this is going to be our liquidity area. So we are failing. We talked about this 200. If I'm below this 200, I am bearish. But this is not the time to short. The time to short was in this area, or even better when we drew that liquidity level at the top here that I just erased, right? Now, what are we looking for? Well, if the market wants to continue looking like crap, then we're going to see a nice little pop up into this 195 area, and then a bigger sell-off could be coming. So 12 years old and fat, I just got to give you another shout out. Thank you for subscribing. I do appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed yet, please, I'm here every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 until 12. So thank you so much for 12-year-old and fat for subscribing. Always appreciate that. All right, so Rabia, that's what I'm looking at. Tesla's not looking too good. It's looking very painful. It really gave up a lot of those, that holding at that 200. New Vision brought this up yesterday. He said, hey, it looks like it's holding that 200 area, and that's why I kept, I wanted to make sure I squash any excitement, because anytime we popped up into this liquidity area that I've already erased, but you guys remember from yesterday, anytime it popped up over this 207, I was skeptical now, because anytime we pop up from this 200, its pushes got weaker and weaker and weaker, and then we pop back up into that liquidity area, and now we're selling off. Now, this thing is looking like it is finding a nice little bid down here, which is great for Tesla. I do hope it holds, because we do have this base right here, but it broke through. So if it pops up, if it gets above there, guys, I don't know about Tesla. So we shall see. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Absolutely, Rabia. I love it. Let's see if we can bring up some of my more speculative stocks. Now, I don't want to look at this stock because I'm already out of it, and it's still shaping up well with the overall market failing. But I like to go over my losing trades so I don't do it again. And one of my biggest mistakes that I've already made this month was taking this trade when it was extended. Actually, I did this last month, but it's going to be on this month's P&L, okay? So when I look at this stock and I see it pop up here, I go, why the heck am I in this thing? I told you guys right here on chat it's too extended. I did wait for it to come back to buy on that VWAP, but after it came down here and it broke this $100 area, it stopped me out, guys. So I am going to revenge trade this. I am, and I know you've probably heard it a few times. Don't revenge trade. Well, guess what? I revenge trade. I do. And I'm going to get my money back on this. But I'm going to wait to do it the right way. So I can say, hey, I messed up. I learned from my mistakes. You are a loser unless you are learning from your mistakes. Am I right? That's more like the slogan here. We got to learn from our mistakes. We got to man up. We have to take what is ours. We have to internalize it, and we need to take full responsibility for everything we've done. And that's why we go over our losing trades here. Because you're going to see me go over my winning trades too, right? I like to brag a little bit about that, but we got to go over those losers. So SMCI, why is this a losing trade? Simply put, I had my stop loss, and that stop loss, where was it? Well over that 10-day moving average. Now, I do not like to do that. The trade, I told you, was down here at 95. The trade at 95 was on the 10-day moving average. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. So now that we have learned from that, will I do that again today? Absolutely not. One I haven't looked at in a while is AEHR, and look at that. It looks exactly, well, I don't want to say exactly, but it looks a lot like Tesla, where it popped right back up into that liquidity area. I actually called this out to my buddy Heiser because he keeps calling this like just a pump and dump, and I was arguing with him on that, which it can be argued. We can argue, whether things are pump or dumps, but look at this. I mean, I think it's shaping up pretty well, but it's getting real choppy in this area. So when I seen it pop up here, I called it out because he loved shorting AEHR ever since I brought it up. So there it is. You could short it if you want, but now is probably not the best time because look at this area right here. I'll just draw it out for you guys so we have a better understanding. It's not going to be that wide though. We can make this a little, that liquidity area is going to be something like that, So we're probably going to see it slow down here, maybe, trade sideways for a little bit. It might even head lower. I don't know. I don't have my crystal ball, but when I get one, Right here, right, B? That's where it's going. So B Stewie says XPON, XPON, XPON. Oh yeah, baby. XPON is looking mighty fine. I should have put this in the description. XPON looks really, really good, guys. I really, really like it. Tesla's up $2 from 185 now. 187, New Vision says. Rabia. Everybody loves Rabia. Everybody loves Rabia. So XPON, let's get right into it, baby. We're gonna move. We're on the hourly here on the top. We're on the daily on the bottom. So we talked all about the psychology of XPON on this. It's an amazing thing, and I'm really gonna. I want to call this something because I'm starting to see confluency across many tickers when it comes to this. So I'm gonna go over it one more time, guys. We have volume back here, 49 million. We have volume right here, which is 33 million. And it looks like it's canceled it out, right? We have that volume here. It breaks down, it comes up, and it gets sold off into again. Okay, but look, it trades sideways, builds new higher lows, and pushes back up into that area. Not only does it push back up into that area, but after it pushed back up into that area, it came down and bounced up. Here's the test. Came back down right there to test that same stinking liquidity area. Okay, it tests and it likes it and it pushes up higher. Now what's going on, guys? Look at this. Every time it pushes up higher, it's holding a new higher low. It's looking absolutely beautiful, and I love this trade. Now, what can you say about this area? Well, I would say you need to be very careful. Okay, because it's already tested these areas. The trades are down here in its liquidity area. So if you were to trade this, this would be taking a trade at its all-time highs. That's a big no-no. That's how a lot of losers start trading. Okay, and why I'm calling them losers when they start trading is because a lot of people, when you start trading, you don't learn from your losers. You do the same mistake over and over and over again. And I know because I wasn't managing my trades properly when I first started trading, right? So let's catch up on the chat really quick, and we will go over the next ticker. So we got 393 on SPY. New Vision says, Dave, when you take a new stock, call the name, then after that, you will refer to the stock as it on this thing. Just a tip, say the name of the stock. Sometimes I lost which one you're talking about, just a tip. You know what? I can totally agree with that, New Vision, because when I was watching other people do exactly what I'm doing now, I would say, what stock is he talking about? So what I'll start doing is I'll start referring to the stock anytime I'm talking about it. I'll try and do my absolute best to refer to that more and more and more. And that's a great tip. Thank you, New Vision. I absolutely love that. That's what we're all going to do. We're going to have good constructive criticism so that way I can give you the best stock commentator show. My wife's got me thinking about that word now. When I say commentator, I think of a normal tater tot. What the heck? Commentator. Thanks a lot. You're in my head. So, if you like that good or decent, common, normal tater tot, leave a subscription. Because if you don't like tater tots, I don't even know what you're doing here, honestly. So, guys, SPY still breaking down at 392.27. Let's check on our stock. CDIO is shaping up right here. It is very, very pretty looking. Look at the CDIO. I love it. And CDIO has got the same thing. Look, guys, look back here. See this? I mean, this is the same as XPON. This is what I mean. I'm seeing this all over the place. You get this huge liquidity push, right? And then it breaks down. And look, it comes up to it, and it breaks through it, and it comes back down and tests it. And it says, no, we like it. We're going to hold out here. And it creates this area. And the second it breaks up through it, this thing does not look back. Look at this beautiful trade on CDIO. Absolutely scrumptious. So I absolutely love this trade. It's looking absolutely amazing for you. So keep up the good work. Now, SPY's at 392.24, looking like absolute dog crap. But let's see. Can we run through the indices really quick? Let's see how things are shaping up. We'll try and do this quick. I think what we need to do is leave a TRKA on this left side because we get a lot of our early birds in here for TRKA. And we will go through our indices over here on the right-hand side, ladies and gentlemen. And then we'll go through the trades that I'm in and the trades that you aren't. So SPY is breaking down at 392.82, 392.92. IWM is trying to break that support area. Still well above that 200-day moving average, but you guys have to understand, if it breaks this 187, it might head down to that 200-day moving average. So we will see. Netflix looking like crap as well. Still heading lower, trading at 309.28. I don't mind to sound like a negative Nancy here, guys, but it's not looking the best. Yeah, I'm telling you, every time I say commentator now, that's all I think about, New Vision. It's horrible. It's so bad. All right, so Microsoft is also breaking down. It's got that WikiWick offer right down here at the busy bottom, but we're going to see what it wants to do. If it wants to be a busy bee and move sideways for us and shape up, that's okay. That'll do good for our markets, but it doesn't look too healthy. Amazon doing the same thing, ladies and gentlemen, still heading Lizzie lower. Why can't, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why I'm speaking in tongues today. Meta also heading lower, and same as Nvidia. I mean, we're going to see, we want to see these things hold up, guys, but it is looking awful. The only thing, and I should probably start with Google from now on. I should start with Google because Google is the only thing that's, I mean, it's still crap. It's still under that 200-day moving average, guys. It's still under that, but at least it's hitting some support. At least we have something to root for right here. You know what I mean? So there's that, you know. Let's take a look at Apple. Yeah, same story, below the 200-day moving average. So, you know, the only real thing that was shaping up isn't looking too good. So we will just keep the SPY up over here. We're going to run through some pretty powerful stocks on this side and see what we want to do. So let's we'll leave TRKA up here because it's doing a lot of stuff and things, and we will go through my trades on this right-hand side. So we have the DHT. We are up probably a cup of coffee on that. XM looking like crap now, finally breaking down. I want to see. Yeah, we're going to see. We'll probably be out of this trade fairly quickly as well. ELF, yeah, I probably should just not even hold on to this, but, you know, I want to see what the open gives us. I want to see if it breaks this 10-day moving average. If it trades below this 10-day moving average, when the stock market opens up, I'm getting out of there. So, did I see CRM? I have not. Let's take a peeky gander at CRM, shall we? CRM, oh, goodness. You know what I should probably do is run through all of these that are open. So CRM is one of them. It is up. What is it up? Take a look at CRM. So CRM's trading at 16%, over 16%. This is Salesforce looking absolutely beautiful, and I like where this took off on the base. Now trading well above its area. We're trading at 194. Goodness gracious, 194, which is those tops up here, guys. So that is really nice. That is a very, very powerful move. And CRM will definitely be on our morning watch list. Beating expectations by double. Let me bring up CRM really quick and see what these financials look like, because this might actually be a trade I'm going to want to take in the morning. So CRM, I don't know, did we talk about Salesforce? It engages in the design and development of the cloud-based enterprise software and customer relationship management. Its solutions include Salesforce automation, customer service and support marketing automation, digital commerce, community and management, collaboration, industry-specific solutions in Salesforce, the platform. The firm also provides guidance, support, and trading and advisory service. Okay. Cool. So that's cool. That's nice. Let's see what kind of... Okay, yeah, I want to be in Salesforce. Goodness gracious, Salesforce. So we are going to be playing that Salesforce on the 5-minute range. Another thing I want to look at just before I start looking at things like that. Let's look at First Solar, guys. So First Solar, I missed this on the 5-minute range. I did play this out for you as if we were going to play it out, but guess who didn't get in? Me. I didn't, and look where it's trading at, 194.05. So this would have been a beautiful trade. We'd be up 1R, meaning the risk to reward. Here's our risk. Here's the green line where we would have gotten in, and it would have been a 3.34% stop, and we would be up right now 5.83. So we would almost be up 2 R's on this earnings continuation trade. So why am I looking at First Solar? Because now I'm looking at CRM shaping up in the same manner. If this has now gapped up over 16% on earnings on a slow 2.4% mover. So this thing could really, really catch some eyes, and CRM is now going to be on my main focus watch this morning, okay? And I will not forget, at 9:30, this is my main watch list. I don't care what anybody else is watching, because here's the thing. I have been missing trades. So at market open, I think what I'm going to do, guys, is it might get a little quiet. I might get excited, ring the bell, but I'm going to kind of keep a steady eye on things for at least the first 5 to 10 minutes. And I think everyone else should do the same, because we spend over an hour and a half here pre-market prepping. So if I pre-market prep the whole time and then I miss my trade like I did on First Solar, I mean, I had it up in front of you guys. I did. I didn't refer back to it. So I know that's my fault. I take it. It's 100% my fault. So what I have to do is I have to learn from my mistake, because I don't want to be a loser. And today I want to make some money. So what am I going to do? I'm going to keep an eye on CRM first thing at the morning. Thank you, New Vision, for bringing up that awesome stock. That is awesome. New Vision coming through on clutch. OKTA, that's looking good. Let's see where it's gapped up to, though. 82. Yeah, it's right into this area, which could be very nice too. So I'll throw that up too, for sure. OKTA. I feel like yeah, so it's on my watch list down here. So what we're gonna do, we'll go through them really quick, guys. So since it's only 9 o'clock, we got 30 minutes. That makes me feel really, really good. You absolutely love your job when you look at the clock and you see that it's only 9 o'clock, and you say, oh, thank gosh it's only 9 o'clock. I still feel like I have so much work to do and so much to go through, because, guys, it is open for business on these gap up earnings. If you don't know how I play it, after the show, go take a look how I play gap up earnings. It's really simple how I play these. And if you have good risk management, if you're taking profit when you're doing this, you can actually make a ton of money, guys. So I'm still back testing a lot of these, because I'm doing it a little different than the way I've been learned. I've learned it through an EP, or an episodic pivot. I've simplified it. I've done wit and simplified it, y'all. But let's catch up on chat, and then we're going to go through all these earnings gappers, okay? So OKTA's looking good. A lot of small cappers today. Gappers. Yeah, small gappers. Small cappers and crappers. 12 years old and fat says, always open, makes me nervous. Usually good opportunities around dinner time. Yeah. So dinner time, they talk about the, maybe not dinner time, but like after lunch. So like that 2, 3 o'clock. I don't know if that's your dinner time where you're at, but Eastern Standard, usually it's around that 2, 3 o'clock, that final push, or it's after lunch. So I think it's between 1 and 3. I don't really know, but I like to trade the morning. I like to prep the morning, see what's going to happen, and then actually take a trade that's going to be a swing for the future days, so I try to get in before the market volatility. I want to tell you guys, I have the most beautiful view, and I'm so blessed to be here right now. In my backyard, I have over 100 acres. Not me. It's not my 100 acres. I'm only sitting on about an acre, about almost 2 acres now. But in the back there, I'm seeing a flood of deer come through, following the creek back there. I can just see their silhouettes, and it's just such a beautiful thing. So I have a beautiful view, and I really hope you guys have a beautiful view too, since I've minimized my camera window. So anyway, CRM on the watch list. We're going to go through these gap up scanners right now. XELA. What are you doing, XELA? This is a hugely beaten down stock now, trying to get up and trading 43% from where it was yesterday. We're seeing a lot of activity, a lot of volatility down here at this base. And now it's trading at 0.06 cents from 0.04 cents. So if you like these low floats, if you like these small cap, if you like these speculative stocks, this sure is a doozy, ladies and gentlemen. So be careful shorting, be careful longing. XELA right now, to me, is just simply put a huge gamble. But before I say that, it's trading right here into this area. There's just so much overhead. That if you're longing something like this, you need to be careful. Okay, so just stay away from that crap. I need to get through these gappers really quick, and then I'll catch up. Guys, just let me apologize. I just need to make sure that I'm doing my due diligence, so that way my trading goes well. I need to run through these and just see where we're at. All right, so give me 1 second. I'll catch up on chat. Chat is very, very important to me. You guys should know that. But I'm finding that if I just dedicate all my time to the chat, then my trading starts to fail, and then I want, you know, how am I supposed to say, hey, this is the good way to trade if I'm losing constantly, right? So we're up, and I want to stay up. So DM looks like it is up 24%, and it looks like it's running right into a little patch of resistance here. It is a bit of a surprise for it, but I don't think that this is interesting enough for me to want to stick around. NXGL, penny stock, CRM, that's on the list. OKTA, that's already on the list. AGL. So New Vision, I do have to just give you one more shout out and say thank you for bringing up CRM, because that totally made me snap back into the realization that, hey, I do earnings gap up. That's my play. What am I doing? You know? So you got me to run TRKA. You got me to run through all of those, and now I feel a lot more comfortable with market open because I got through the majority of the ones that are the interesting ones. So thank you so much. That is why we have a community, guys, because you are going to alert me what's going on. I'm going to do my best to alert you, and we're going to have a good time, baby. And what are we doing here for pre-market prep? We're doing our own due diligence, baby. Why do we need to be here for that? Because we need to know where the levels are. We need to understand where the indices sit so we can understand the sentiment in the market. Now, if you're looking at the bigger cap stocks, equities mean more than if you're looking at the small caps. If you're looking at the small cap stocks, then look at that ticker. Know and understand and analyze the technical analysis and the patterns that are in it. We can look back and see what kind of float it is so you understand what you're trading. And we can also look to see and check all for free what short percent float it is. Okay, guys? And we know TRKA as of yesterday was over 30%. So you need to be careful on those because those are rip your face off stocks. Rip your face off. There goes your nose and everything. All right? So be careful in these low float stocks. They are very, very volatile, and TRKA is looking like a spicy trade at 48 cents currently right now. Now let's catch up on chat. Good omen seeing those deer. Yeah, it's life, baby. You know, the more life you can surround yourself with, the better you're going to feel. So I absolutely love seeing deer in the backyard. And you know, it's funny, I never used to see them, but they knocked down a ton of the trees by the creek so they could have a better flow back there. Yeah, I call it a creek. We should do a poll. Crick or creek? I don't even know. Does it spell different? Let's see. Got your response on Facebook Messenger. Yes, there you go, New Vision. Now you can talk to me directly. But we also have a Discord, guys, that we're trying to grow. And this is so you can get a hold of me, or if you have any newbie questions, you know, you're more than welcome to put whatever in here. I don't want anybody to ever feel like they don't belong or that they don't have like the ability to ask stupid questions. So right here, I'm going to put this up in chat. And all stupid questions are welcome, guys, because I had a ton of stupid questions and I bugged the crap out of my mentors daily to give me that information. If I couldn't find it, they could help me find where I can find it. And, you know, YouTube's great. I mean, that's why I'm here, because I found a lot of my information on YouTube for free, okay? So let's keep on keeping on. Rabia says, what is the support line for Tesla? It's at 186 and wondering how long it can go. So let's take a look at Tesla and we'll see if we can spit up a report. Hey guys, we missed jobless claims, by the way. We totally missed jobless claims. So that shows you how good I'm doing on that. Let's refresh this jobless claims really quick so that way we understand. Oh, did it release? Let's see. Clicking on it right now, guys. We're gonna let that load. So we got Tesla up over here, and if we're looking for support on Tesla, let's look on the hourly, not the 5 minute, and then we can even look at, oh, I'm looking at the daily. What am I thinking? Here we go. All right, so, you know, I hate to call this support because it's not much, but this is your support. This is all you got right here, is this little bit that looks like. This is all the support you got, Rabia. It's in it. We might see a little pop. Like I was saying, a little pop and then a drop. That's just what that's my guess. It's not a buy or sell recommendation, guys. That's all I'm seeing here. You know, I'm just using the technical analysis because I feel like the next real bout of liquidity, like the real liquidity, is going to be here in this area. So all the way down here around that 175 area, 180, okay? So between the 170 and 180. you got to be careful with this, because with the market, the overall market, the sentiment here looking pretty crappy, you really got to just watch out for this thing to fall. Okay, so I mean, I hope it shapes up. I really do, and I hope everything shapes up, because I am a bear with bull horns, guys. I got a investment too. So the forecast was 195 and the actual was 90. So if the jobless claims measure the number of individuals who filed for unemployment, this is saying that unemployment is down more than what the forecast expected. So that's actually should be taken as bad news. Technically, why less people are filing for unemployment. That means that the job market is still very strong. People still have jobs. People are still making money. If people still have jobs, people are still making money, and they're still spending, then it's going to continue the rise on our inflation. So that just came out at 8:30 actually. So we're only like 40 minutes late on that, guys. So I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to start putting up timers, so that way I know where all this market data is coming from, And I know jobless claims aren't going to move the market like crazy, but it will at least give us an understanding and a sentiment to what the overall market is judging. So, sorry, can't see the value. Yeah. Oh, you can't see the values. Like you can't see the actual chart. If you don't have the chart up, just be careful in Tesla right now. I would say, if you're trading Tesla, Rabia, this might be a day where you just kind of sit back and relax and see what it's going to do, because it's not really in any area. It's not in any real area. So you could find a trade in anything, Rabia. You could find a trade in anything, but me personally, I don't want to play in this. I don't want to play in this because this isn't a ton for this thing to hold up. It's not a ton. It might get a little bounce, like I was saying, but if that bounce comes, it's probably going to go right back into its supply. So that, to me, that's my only trade here, is shorting Tesla. And I don't like saying it out loud because I know we got a lot of Tesla fans out there. So guys, I'm a bull with bare horns. I want to see it go higher, but if it's too much supply overhead, we've got a lot of fight going on. So we'll see what's going to happen with Tesla, Rabia. We shall see, and I will stay on top of it for you. So let's bring up TRKA over here. We'll zoom in on the SPY to make sure we can see really what's going on. And it's trading right at that 200 moving average. So it's playing games. It's playing games, y'all. It doesn't know what it wants to do. So let me pour some coffee here. Fitting to pour some coffee right now. And then we're going to bring that CRM up. All right, so that's all of it. So we are good for the coffee for the day. Goodness gracious. Wow. What a day. What a day. It's going to be beautiful. It's beautiful outside too. So you got to love it. Yeah, XELA looks like it's finally finding that sell-off right here, guys. It's finding a little bit right here. It's not much. The pocket that I'm drawing here isn't nothing compared to like all the crap that's above it. Like look at this one. There's so much above it. This thing could stop anywhere. So I wouldn't bank any money on this really speculative penny stock. I wouldn't even short this just because it has the ability to rip so high. But with all the overhead resistance, it's pretty safe too. But it's just not my forte. But I love to look at it. I love to speculate over it. CDIO. Guys, I am Dave. I'm LoFiTrader. I'm here every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 until 12. If you like what I'm doing, hit that subscribe button. If you don't like it, tell me why. I don't care. If you want me to look at something that you don't see, if I'm looking at crap that you're not looking at and you want to know something, don't be shy. Throw that up in chat, okay? I'm not going to give you crap, but I will go over what you want me to. It might not be your confirmation bias that you have. It might not be mine, but it'll at least be a technical analysis-driven trade that starts with a stop. ONCS. You know what I want to do? Let's look up CDIO. Let's see exactly what CDIO is. So CDIO, right off the rip, we can tell that this thing is a piece of crap. This is a health technologies medical specialist. And why do I say right away it's a piece of crap? Well, we can already see their net income is negative $44,000. They're obviously already taking money out of the market. They're reducing or actually increasing Anyway, Cardio Diagnostics Holding Incorporated engages in the provision of medical diagnostics testing service. It also develops and commercializes a series of products for major types of cardiovascular diseases and associates comorbidities, including coronary heart disease, or CHD, stroke, heart failure, or diabetes, sugar diabetes. The company is headquartered in Chicago, Illinois. So, this right here is an extremely speculative stock. Why? Because they are not making money. They are not showing any proof of concept. Nothing. There's nothing here. But this stock is taking off. How can that be? Well, I would like to call this a market maker stock. Now, it might be, it might not be, but it's okay. What we're going to do is we're going to do our due diligence. We're going to see if what we can do is get a little bit more insight on this stock. And how do I get more insight? Well, simply put, I like to check its float. I like to check its short interest. So CDIO looks like it is 4.4 million float. Look at this. Very, very, very small, guys. This is a make or break. If you don't have risk, if you don't know what you're doing, this will break you. It will break your back. No offense, B. Short squeeze, CDIO. So we don't have any information on its short interest or its interest on its shorting. So let's look at MTCI. This thing's just trading sideways now, which like I told you guys, there's nothing going on right here in this area. Absolutely nothing. It's just empty space. There's no accepted price areas. The next accepted price is at like $5 or $6. So way up here, yeah, $6. So either this thing comes all the way up to that $6 area and then it's a trade, or it just lingers out down here, maybe bounces a few times, trades sideways before pushing higher, or it just fails from here and heads lower. Manage your risk on this one, ladies and gentlemen. This might be one of those that, you know, some of the small cap traders will be looking for a pop. So we see this here, this area. If we can get a pop in the morning, they might use this area as their stop, like the psychological $3 area as their stop. So this thing might pop. This is where they get in short. And as long as it fails and continues to fail and starts selling off more and more, then simply put, that would be the trade. That'd be what they're looking for, you know. So we'll keep an eye on that. It is pretty extended. BRTX. So BRTX is just heading straight up. We'll see what it wants to do. It's starting to base out here at 384. So I don't know nothing about the stock, but it just looks like it has been beaten down. Not a bunch of pop and drops. So this thing, if it holds its liquidity and does what it wants to do, it's in an area right now where it's either going to sell off or it's going to push higher, honestly. Like I hate saying that. Like if I just draw this line, this is its biggest base, and it's breaking over that base right now. And you know, this is a biotherapeutics, so you know it's a garbage company right off the get. And you know, I'm not going to look up the news or anything on this, but guys, when you're looking at stuff like this, you need to just have a better understanding of what's going on, okay? So that's why we always need to look to our left. Look to our left, not my left, not your left. Look left on the chart, okay? So we're going to zoom out on the daily, and we look at what's going on in this chart. And if you guys look, it's right here on your screen, right here. See this? This is the daily. See that crap? It's basing out, right? It's basing out. When these things base out and they have these big pushes like this, there can be some powerful moves. So look, it's coming right into this area. It's breaking out of that area. If it can hold this, just hold this, simply put, then we might have another TRKA or another, well, what's some of the stocks that we looked at this morning, where they're coming up, they're defeating their liquidity, then they're coming back, they're testing their liquidity, they're trading sideways and heading higher. TRKA was one of them, yes. So keep that in mind, guys. This BRTX, you know, we could just leave this up just to see. BRTX, okay? Now, we have 12 minutes till market open, okay, guys? Yeah, I'm glad you heard that, B. Stewie. I'm glad you, it was quick and to the point, so. Listen, guys, if you don't see on my screen what you want to be seeing, you need to let me know now. Why? Because market open is going to be in just 12 minutes. And when market opens, I'm going to be quiet just for a little bit so that way I can keep an eye on my trades and I can manage my positions because I have a few things that need to be done. And if we don't get them done, then who's going to do them, right? I need to do them. And I got drops on XM, DHT, ELF, EMBC actually has a nice little pop. And then I also have SoFi, NVIDIA, and DraftKings on my watch list in case the market starts to shape up. If we see this market actually start shaping up here, guys, and we actually see some proof of concept that this thing doesn't want to keep tanking, that means any pop just doesn't get sold off anymore. We need to actually show that we're holding a base. So I'm not going to do crap until I actually see it holding something out at this 200-day moving average. If it doesn't hold out here, you know, if we get a sharp pop to the upside, well, I'm going to try and short that thing, you know. But, you know, I don't know. I have hopes for this market. And I say hope respectfully because we all know hope doesn't make money, right? Making money makes you money. So we are going to keep an eye on this thing, and we are going to wait and see what exactly wants to happen. But when it comes to actually taking a trade this morning, on my list, it's going to be CRM. Let me get rid of these. CRM. I'm going to be trying to take a trade on that. And OKTA. Those are my number ones. So CRM. This one right here, looking beautiful. We'll put this up on the 5-minute. Okay, and the next stock is going to be OKTA. I don't want to look at FSLR, damn it. All right, it's up. Yeah, FSLR still holding those gains from yesterday, so it's looking really, really well. Very proud of that stock. Where did Boyle? Oh, I put Boyle on the top. I just want to bring up Boyle really quick. We got 10 minutes. 10 minutes till market open, guys. So look at Boyle. What is going on with this stock? Or this ETF? It's this gas. You know, gas is very interesting. Yeah, this Boyle is very interesting from this morning too. And, you know, it's just an ETF. It's nothing crazy, but it moves 11%. So to me, it's pretty crazy. I like it. And I want to take this trade. And it broke out of that area. So I'm going to put Boyle down here just because I think Boyle is going to be a great... I think it's going to be a great ETF to actually play. But I could be crazy. But I'm thinking, you know, if we're sliding down, if things are looking bad for the market, where's people's money going to go? You know, energy and gas. And this is a gas ETF that moves 11%. I mean, that's pretty dang speculative. So I'm just going to keep an eye on. I'm not making any decisions today. I really just want to keep an eye on everything and see how everything works out. So CRM right here at these highs. Goodness gracious, 194, looking great. Breaking this area. I'm gonna just put a line over this area. Yeah, it's right there. What a crazy little cusp that's sitting on. We are definitely gonna play the 5-minute on this and hope for the best. We're gonna take small share size though because we know the overall market's looking crap, and a lot of these earnings gap ups, they want to give a lot of it back. So probably what I'm going to do on this trade is play the 5-minute range break on small share size. We will hold out after the first day. We'll try and hold for that initial 24 hours. We'll take out half after the first day now rather than holding for 3. And then we will see what happens from there. So I'm going to run through my trades and I'm going to set my stop losses because I do not want to get taken off guard here. So let me just set this little stop loss here. We need to set this at 25. I'm going to put this right here. We need to set this today. Bring this down to here. 25. Send that. We're gonna go to XM. So XM is just making me mad. Look at this thing. Just dropped right here. Goodness gracious. And XM was holding up really nice with the overall market too. So it just kind of sucks. Kind of sucks. XM's got to go ahead and pull one of these cards. But hey, that's part of trading, guys, you know, and that's why we manage our risk. Because if we don't manage our risk, then who's going to manage it for us? And we're going to lose a ton of stinking money if we don't manage our risk. So you got to manage your risk so that way when you're losing money, you're losing a small amount, and when you're winning money, you are winning big. So, man, I really don't want to get out of this ELF, but it's just lingering right there at my stop loss area. So, I don't know. We're going to see. We're going to see how this thing wants to act in the morning, but if we fail, we're out. So, EMBC, we can just leave that up. That's doing okay. So, CRM, OKTA, and Boyle are the things that I'm going to keep a close eye on for the open, which is only 6 minutes away. Guys, if you love what I'm doing, if you like stock commentary, commentary analysis, guys, I'm Dave. I'm with LoFiTrader. I'm here every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 until 12. If you love to hear it, you love to see it, put me in your ear, put me in your eyes, because I want to be your voice. I want to be your reason, and I want to show you a little something. So, I hope you guys are having a good morning. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Be with us every single day. Mikey, good luck to you too, good sir. Good luck to you. What are you watching, Mikey? Tell us. Tell us what you're watching, what you got eyes on. I imagine you probably got eyes on, I think it's this MTC. Maybe not MTC. It's too far from the base, though. CDIO might be one for you. Nah, probably not. BRTX. BRTX probably, huh, Mikey? I'd say BRTX is probably one of your main watches there, just because it's right into that liquidity area, and if we get a nice little pop, you're probably looking to short that, huh? I'm thinking so. Let's see. All right. Well, we got a few minutes. I'm going to run through the top. SMCI looking like it's coming back up to my original buy-in area. We got 5 minutes. We're going to try to run through these quick. FSLR still trading sideways. 4 minutes, 18 seconds till market open, guys. IBKR bouncing off the 21-day moving average. Monday, MNDY also actually breaking down from that 21-day moving average. LTH trading sideways, which I think is another gas company, so we might want to look into that. INSP following that 30-day moving average, looking very well. CRUS looking really, really tight on that 21-day moving average. Yeah, really tight on that 21-day moving average. That is very interesting. This might be something that we want to keep in mind if it starts to... Oh, don't do this to me. Okay, cool. I was really worried I was gonna crash the system there. So we're gonna see if CRUS is something that we really want to keep an eye on, guys. That looks really good right there. I really like CRUS right here. This is definitely I'm definitely keeping this. CDIO, ONCS, BRTX, yes, MTC. Okay, you're looking at all of them. Well, I can't really focus my watch list just on all of that, but I really want to watch exactly what you're watching. But yeah, small caps are doing their thing. So, Mikey, let me know. Hey, post. Alex is up. Good morning, Alex. Alex, come on over into our chat on live stream and say good morning to everybody. Alex is awake, guys. Of course, we're getting ready to start our day off. 2 minutes, 55 seconds left to go. And good morning, Alex. Alex finally wakes up. He says good morning. He wakes to sleep from his eyes, and he says, it's time to trade, baby. It's time to trade. I don't know what's going on, but it is time to trade. So Alex actually did his pre-market prep last night. Some people can do that. I cannot. Sometimes we got to be here early in the morning. We got 2 minutes, 36 seconds. Guys, just a friendly reminder. When this market opens, you're probably only going to be hearing the lo-fi music because I'm going to be focused very intently on my trades, on CRM, OKTA, and possibly Boyle. Okay, so those are my main watches. And I know they're probably not yours, but I will put up TRKA over here. And I'm going to probably be switching these up. But for the first 5 minutes of open, I'm going to stay focused on me and my trades. Because after about 10 minutes of open, I'm usually pretty close to being done trading, right? Because I know my levels, I know what I want to trade. So we got 2 minutes left. You guys, bear with me at open because I want to focus on my trades. And then after that, all I need to do is manage my trades, and then I can just focus on your trades. So thank you for being here. I do appreciate it. If you love stock commentary and analysis, we only got 1 minute and 30 seconds till morning open. So hit that like, hit that subscribe. I'm bringing you as much energy as a man can bring with 4 walls around him. I'm an introvert that needs attention, so I appreciate you just as much as you might appreciate me. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, baby. We got 1 minute, 30 seconds till market open. Let's just take a look at the SPY to see how it is holding up right now. It is still trading at its lows of the weeks, guys. We are trading at 392.60 on the SPY. 392.60 on the SPY, as TRKA is still shaping up, trading at its previous, we won't even call it that. It's trading TRKA as at 0.47 cents. Now, I am going to get in my zone, baby, after we ring the bell. I might be a little bit quiet, but you know why. We got trading to do. We got money to make, baby, and that is what we are here for. First Solar, FSLR, looks like it is still kicking butt, taking names, making me sick to my stomach looking at this thing. And you might ask why? Well, because we missed this trade yesterday, because I wanted to chit chat for too long. So we have 30 seconds till market open, ladies and gentlemen, and you better believe it. I want to take these trades. We want to make these monies. So let's see how these things work out for us. Here we go, guys. We got 22 seconds. I hope you're ready. I hope you were here for pre-market prep. I hope you know the levels that you want to watch, that you want to take, that you want to make some money, baby. So we got 10 seconds. Let me take a sip, and let's do this, baby. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Money, 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 money. Yeah! Let's do this, baby. Watcha. Let's go. Let's go. I'm ready. OKTA breaking down right off the get. CRM also breaking down a little bit. Give me a good range. Let's make some money off this, guys. We want to see what the range is on these 5 minutes. So we are about 30 seconds into the morning open, and what am I looking for? Simply put, CRM, I'm looking for that 5-minute range. Boyle is up over that trading price. So basically what I'm doing here, guys, is I'm just waiting for these 5-minute candles to form. I like taking a 5-minute candle, and I want to see what kind of range it's going to give me at the morning open. So after the 5 minutes is done, I'm waiting on that 6th minute to see what actually happens. So after 5 minutes, I can create my range, set my alerts, and then be ready and prepared to take the trade. I can even actually set my buy-in for those trades, but I need that first 5 minutes to let me know where things are at. So that way, after that, I can know where my levels are to get in, where I want to get out. I need to figure out how much I'm willing to risk, how much I'm, and even if the trade is still fallible, like it's still, I'm still able to get into it safely, and it still follows my game plan. So it's comfortability as well as watching the actual market. So just bear with me, guys, because I want to make sure I don't miss a thing this morning. Especially with CRM, I do like it. These aren't buy or sell recommendations either, guys. This is just how I trade. This is what I do. I'm back testing all these studies, so I cannot show you. I can show you, my last month's statement. We were up 135 bucks, but it was that $135 that I made last month. You guys have to understand that was me back testing a lot of trades. I was back testing a breakout strategy, back testing earnings gap ups. Basically, the reason why I was up last month, simply put, risk management. And if you stick around, I will show you how I do all my risk management here and how I make money. All right? So, guys, we are really, really getting into it. It's getting juicy this morning. Things are moving around really fast. OKTA looks like it is breaking down, giving a lot of those gains back that it had. So I think I could take this off, and I'll just set an alert so that way when it does climb back up to these top areas, I can keep an eye on it. So now I can put the SPY back up over here on this side. Let's see, money, I'm taking CRM calls soon. Yeah, just be really careful, man. Be really careful with CRM. We want to see this thing shape up first. We want to see what kind of range is the open going to give us, right? Because if you just get in wherever and you don't know where your stop is, and you can't have a stop unless you have a range, right? So if we want to play these speculative stocks, we want to play these, it's okay to just make sure you can get out, make sure you know your stop, make sure you know what you're willing to risk, guys, okay? So Alex, I'm glad to see that you're awake, and I think it's crazy that you wake up, you stretch, and you say, I'm going to take some calls. I love it. It looks like SPY is trying to shape up. It's giving a nice little push at 392.86. But guys, remember, I talked to you about this little push I don't know if we want to trust it, but we will see. If the volume really comes in here, you know, and people really want to buy it up, they're going to show us. They are going to show us that they want it, okay? So we will see. DHCS really taking off. Diversified Health. Let's see. XELA still. Nope. XELA went right into that liquidity area we pointed out for you and is failing. RPID. Almost on that next 5-minute candle, guys. Almost on that next 5-minute candle. All right, CRM looks like it wanted to pull all the way back to this $190 area. Almost 190 even, guys. That's a nice psychological area to count as a stop loss. So I'm going to go ahead and draw that because it's giving us a nice wick. Now, that's on the 5 minutes, so it doesn't mean too much because we're still in morning open. But this gives me enough information to know, as long as it trades in this area, that this is going to be where I want to get in because that is my 5-minute range, and this is where I would want to get out. So if it breaks this area, I'm going to get in through the break of this top at 193.50 area. If it breaks this after I get in, then that's where my stop out is. So what am I willing to risk? Well, that's about a $4 range. So every share that I take is going to count as $4, right? So what are we going to take? Well, let's risk a small $10 on this, okay, guys? We're going to risk $10 on this, and we're going to risk $10 to try and earn ourselves $100, okay? I like those big risk rewards. Now, why do I think I'm going to get $100? Because when usually, not usually, but sometimes you'll get a nice event out of these that will give you a very good amount of money. And a lot of people call those black swans. You get about, I don't know, what, 7 a year? And on these earnings gap ups, these episodic pivots, that's where you're going to find these, okay? So, ooh, I almost bought 100. So what we're going to do is I'm going to set this for 8. So we'll do 3 shares. And then what I like to do is I do the buy. And I go right up to where I want to buy it. All right. And I like using this active trader. It can get a little wonky on you sometimes. But we put it right on our buy area. And then I go to edit. And I make sure that this is a buy market stop on the day. So I confirm and send, and we're good to go. All right. So now it's sitting there. Now this is going to change. This is going to change things, right? Because now my range is getting lower. The lower my range gets, or the wider my range gets, the bigger my stop gets. Meaning, if this thing goes down any further than this, then I'm going to have to recalculate my whole risk. I might not be able to afford as many shares if that's all I want to take, okay? So CRM looking like it's breaking down a little bit more. We'll come back and take a look at that, but I want to see OKTA now. So OKTA also made its range, which is also looking like it is breaking down, okay? So this is its range. Now we have a range from 78 all the way to 81. It doesn't look like we're going to be taking many trades, guys. It looks like these things are breaking down. They're giving a lot of it back. They're not wanting to hold. But just as I say that, we're starting to get some wicks off on the CRM. So we will see how that works out for us, guys. And I think I want to simply put, I got an alert for that. And what I'm going to do is get rid of this. I'm going to put an alert right here in case this does come back up so we can readjust for our stop loss, and I'm going to run through the indices to see how it's doing. So, guys, I'm back. I'm back like a fiend on crack. I need the market just as much as, well, maybe not you, but I need it. I love it. So, the SPY is breaking down, trading at 392.54 right now, looking overall weak. IWM, same thing, breaking down from that defended area. Netflix also getting a pop the first thing this morning right into this area of liquidity and selling right back off. Guys, I don't even think I really need to go through all this. Microsoft getting a pop. What do you think is going to happen here? You know, we have all this over here, you know, that it popped up into and failed. Now it's coming back up to test this. You know, and things aren't looking good. Things are not looking good at all for the overall market, guys. And I hate saying that. I feel like the more I say it, the more viewers we lose. So maybe I should say yes. Maybe I should cheer that the market's burning or something. Yes, the market is down. We have Meta doing another beautiful push and a sell-off. The sell-off looks absolutely amazing. We love to see everybody's accounts burning to the ground. NVIDIA as well. shooting up here right into liquidity. How beautiful is that to see everything sell right off down to the ground? Watch everything burn. Please make sure you have a nice bunker storage. Look at that. And then the viewer count goes skyrocket. All I got to do is talk positive about the negative stuff. Like CRM, we wanted this trade, but thank goodness it is burning to the ground. Good thing we did not take this trade because we would be on fuego right now. So, I don't know, guys. We got to switch it up a little bit, right? We can't just be talking crash and burn all the time. So anyway, Tesla, we're getting that pop we talked about this morning, but it never even got anywhere close to that 192, that liquidity area that I pointed out for you. So things are looking overall absolutely garbage boo-boo in the market, and it makes me want to take a big trade on the short side. What I need to do now is I need to go over my trades, and I need to get rid of basically everything. So that trade that we have been in for 3 or 4 days now on this finally comes to fruition and says, no, we don't like you anymore. So we are out of, goodness, why? Oh, because I have my stop loss down, way down here. We're getting out of it. Goodbye. All right, next up, DHT is off the list. Next up, XM. Let's see how much money. All right, it's still wanting to hold, and this is why we give it time, but look at these wicks. You know, big push up, big buy up. I mean, it's just getting choppy in this area, guys. But I am going to hold this. I am going to hold it. We're going to see what comes of XM just because every time we've had a crappy market, this XM has really held up nicely. So I'm just going to hold on to it for a little while longer, and we'll see what it wants to do. Let's take a look at ELF, though. Uh-oh. Look at this. Big loss on ELF. Wow. So look at that. Looks like I should have respected my stop a little better, huh, guys? Now we're trading all the way down here in the 70.92. So with this slippage, okay, because I wasn't paying much attention and just failed, we are going to actually take a $31 loss on this. Now, that's not much, right? That's not much. But you have to keep in mind that these things do start to add up, all right? So when these things start adding up, and yeah, this is, this is the base. We might get a pop here. Probably would have been smarter to wait for that pop. But here's the thing, guys. It's already shown its true colors to me. I don't want to be in this thing anymore. I don't want to have to worry, sweat, or fret about it. So we are out of ELF. We're holding XM. Let's see how EMBC looks. EMBC looks like it's doing really well. It looks like we actually had a crazy pop this morning. That pop led right into some of its overhead liquidity. Hopefully, and I say that respectfully, hopefully clearing that out. If that clears that out, that means this thing could really shape up. Just as we said, you clear out that liquidity, you trade sideways underneath it, and then next thing you know, you get a crazy push higher. You know what I mean? So we are at $32.46. That's different because that is not where your first kind of. Oh, okay, there we go. Good. All right, so it looks like, which is really weird because we had this at 32.46, which is showing that I got it. Oh, okay, I must have never moved this up. So we're just around break even on this, guys. We're just around break even. We only got 10 share size in this, and we took this because it's looking like a beautiful cup and handle on an IPO. Okay, so if it breaks this area and can break this area, as you can see, this wick is getting sold off pretty hard. Then we can head higher, but only until then will we actually see this thing shape up. So we're going to hold on to EMBC and XM, and we are going to keep an eye on CRM, OKTA, and, oh goodness, OKTA is now giving back almost half of its earnings. OKTA will be off the list, and I will not be playing it. So CRM is the only thing I'm keeping an eye on, and BOIL, now that it's back in down to here, testing this top right here, I do like this area. I do like BOIL. I like where this is sitting. It's sitting right on this big V-shaped bottom, and then it broke out of this base, and it's coming back right now to test this area. So I like the way this looks, and I really appreciate you bringing this up. It was either Rabia or S. Sim that brought this up, so I really do appreciate you guys bringing this up. So if I'm not watching something that you're watching, just let me know. Let me know in the chat. Let me know what you're watching. I'd love to commentate for you. We can run through some of the things I know them small cap traders are watching. And look at this. As we speak, ONCS is looking like a short. It's not a buy or sell recommendation. I'm just calling it how I see it. And why am I saying that? Well, because if you see this, we have the overhead at $3, which is a great area. A great area to have your risk. Is a psychological area. And then it's popping back up in here. You can use pre-market at $2.95 as your risk if you wanted to. But this right here looks like we're getting some sell-off, some buyback, and some more sell-off right up here just above VWAP. So ONCS looking like it could possibly fail in this area. And just because I said it, we'll just act like it. That's our stop, right? And we'll just say we took it somewhere in this area, okay, guys, above VWAP. And we'll see what happens here, because now you know where your stop is. Now you know where you could take a trade, you know, and if this is in your wheelhouse, you know, that might be something. So just be careful, though, because this is very, very speculative. I'm just talking. I'm just a big chatting, big talking head on YouTube. So it could be right, could be wrong, but we will see. BRTX looking the same. Looks like it had this nice little pop up into this area. You could have used this as risk at the peak. And then it starts to fail, right? And if you look back here, I drew it out for you. It created this liquidity area. I said if it can break out and head higher and then come back and test this and trade sideways above it, it looks good. But because there's nothing overhead, there's nothing over here telling us what's gonna happen, this thing most likely will fail, and you can use this 435 as your stop loss, but be careful because it is a low float high flyer, guys. MTC breaking down right at the open, and we talked about why this is probably going to happen, because right here was its liquidity. It tested its liquidity, it held its liquidity, and then it pushed higher. Do you guys see the correlation here? Are you guys understanding what's going on? We're seeing correlation with the previous volume. If it takes it out, it resists, and then it comes back and tests and heads higher. If it comes up to that volume and just trades sideways and peters out, then you have a short. I mean, it's real simple stuff, but it's hard taking those trades. And that's why I'm here every single day, Monday through Friday, guys. I'm showing you how hard it can be sometimes. Your emotions get in the way. You guys see me with First Solar yesterday. I missed that trade, and I wanted to freak out. It sucked. So FSLR, speaking of which, I want to go back. Yeah, look at FSLR too. Look at this beautiful dang trade that I missed, guys. And I'm going to be crying over this constantly, and I don't really care how it sounds, because it's a learning experience, guys. And look where it's starting to stop out, right around this $200 psychological level, right? You see that? Right around that psychological level. And look at the CDIO, Mikey. What price did you get that? What price did you get CDIO? Goodness gracious. CDIO is looking beautiful. Nice little pop. Mikey's using the top of pre-market at 873, probably 875 as a stop loss, taking a short right in this area, looking for a bigger expected move lower. Why? Well, because there's nothing up here, guys. There's no CDIO volume previous. So if there's nothing up there to show you, there's nothing up, there's no base, no nothing. Yes, this could easily head higher, but if you don't find a pocket of buyers up here to continue it higher, especially pre-market, you know, pre-market, this big run up here, this is just getting manipulated. Like, people are just jumping over each other to get that buy. So if we get a good push up here and then a bunch of people selling off, if we can just push through all of this, but there's a lot of, like, right here is going to be a pocket of liquidity. So we need to be careful, you know, in this area. Now, it's not going to be a ton. Your biggest pocket of liquidity is in this VWAP area around $5, okay? But we should see a stutter step here. But if we get lucky, we will see this thing not just stutter step here, but bounce just a little bit and then maybe touch VWAP, but maybe not, and then fail right down to that $5 area before maybe heading sideways. So that's my take on CDIO. Buy a BOIL now? All right, let's take a look. All right, I'll buy BOIL right now. You know, it's funny that you said that, because we looked at this V-shaped bottom and then it broke out, and now it's coming back to test this area. What I like about BOIL here, guys, is first of all, it's a fast mover, and if we're failing in the SPY, so let's look at the SPY. If the SPY wants to continue down, BOIL's going to be a great and a smart trade, in my opinion. I'm just a talking head, not buy or sell recommendation. But I do like BOIL here because it's coming back down, testing this area. So if it can trade in this, say, 675 to this $7 area, I'm going to feel just fine in BOIL. So I think what I'll do, let's see. We want to see it moves 11%. So let's just see. So if we pull this 11%, it can move all the way down to 625. So if I want to hold on to this for at least one day, and we have about a dollar in here, I'll just take 25 of this just to tickle your fancy, for one. And so that way I can hold on to this at least overnight. And if it, let's say I get into this, guys, and what happens is it gets me in, it breaks down. Okay, we're in now. SM, we are in it to win it, baby. So we got in here, and what I'm expecting this thing is to maybe come down here and test the 675, and then maybe tomorrow it'll break out through and head on higher, pass through 7, and just go to the moon. Okay, that's what I'm hoping for. And I say that respectfully because I don't really know. I don't have a crystal ball. I just show you guys the technical analysis on this. And why did I bring up Boyle? I brought up Boyle because our good friend SM just showed it to us in pre-market prep. So thank you so much for being here, SM, that early in the morning so we can set up and we can identify these tickers and see what's really going on. So Boyle is a natural gas ETF. And why am I taking this trade? Well, because if the overall market sentiment is showing me it wants to flush to the sell side, and I bring up an ETF like Boyle, okay, and we have all of this volatility here, that tells me that there are some institutional ownerships trying to buy into this. Now, I could be wildly wrong. Okay, I've never worked for an institution. Okay, I just read books and I regurgitate the things that I've heard myself, and I take trades on them. So I am in Boyle. I'm in small share size. I've only taken 25 shares, but with 25 shares, you can understand that moving at 11% could make you up or down pretty quick, guys. And I'm a swing trader, day trader, and from time to time, I just buy into VOO constantly. So his average on CDIO is $8.25. So if we're at $8.25, are you kidding me? You got it for $8.25, dog? Jeez, this is why we're learning from these guys. This is why I surround myself with amazing traders, and I always will. I try to befriend every trader I can. I really do. And I think that's why we're going to be amazing on this channel, guys. That's why we're going to be amazing, because it doesn't matter if you're good. It doesn't matter if you're bad. Just don't be a loser and learn from your mistakes. And I guarantee it, and Mikey will probably back me up. I will speak right for him. He's not a loser because he's been learning from his mistakes. I've seen his charts. He looks back on all of his charts. I've seen him post losing charts and winning charts, and that's why he got my follow. Because if you just watch somebody, your favorite guru, I don't care who it is, posting nothing but winning trades, then how are you going to learn from him? How are you going to learn from that guy? You need to know his process. How did he get there? Where he's messed up? What is actually going on? Because if you understand what's going on, guys, and you have a better fruitful knowledge, you can see both sides of the court, right? If you only hear one side of the story and you never hear the other side of the story, then how is the whole picture going to come together? So that's why I talk to people like Stewie. That's why I talk to people like Mikey. That's why I talk to people like B. And that's why I go over my trades. So I know how everybody trades. If you have an understanding of how everyone trades, you can have a better idea of how the market moves. So we are in Boyle. That's the what. This is, we're up 3 cents. SM, if I make $1 million off this, we'll, I don't know, I'll send you a cup of coffee. You know what I should do, guys, is I should get our logo on some coffee cups. That's what we should do. That way we could all drink it out of the LoFiTrader cups, you know? That'd be kind of cool. Anyway, guys, right back to the market. Let's go through my trades. Actually, what I need to see is how CRM is shaping up. Looking like dog crap. Yucky, yucky, yucky. OKTA looking like it is also failing, giving back a lot of its gains. So what I want to do, guys, we'll just go over the trades I'm in. EMBC looking, I love EMBC. I really like the way it looks. I like this cup. I like the handle that it's hopefully going to start forming here, because if EMBC does what I'm expecting it to do and make this nice little cute little handle right here, well, guess what? I'm going to hold on to that handle and I'm going to add into this position. But right now, I just have a measly 10 shares in this trade. I think just because I've been in here for a day, I'll just add 10 more shares to this trade. It shouldn't be saying that. It's weird. It shouldn't be saying. So we're going to try and add 10 more shares. If it gets us in, it gets us in. If not, no big deal. But we will have 20 shares on that trade just because I'm starting to see some stuff shape up. XM still, with the overall market looking doo-doo, it still wants to do us a favor and hold at those highs. So we're going to hold. We got about 45 shares of XM at $17. You know, this has just been amazing. Like, this stock really honestly has, with the overall the market and the sentiment, this is one of the only tickers that gapped up and held its gains so well, you know. so well. Now, ELF was one of those trades that was holding up so well, but then broke a key area, you know. And look, guys. Of course, it touched its 21-day moving average. We got out for a $20 loss, and look what happens. Oh, I'm still in 10 shares of this. I didn't fully get out of this. So I got out on most of my shares, probably half of my shares, and now it pops back up. I was going to say, we lost like $30 on this trade, and I even said when I got out here, I was like, this is probably the worst place to get out. And sure as heck, it was the worst place to get out because it's popping right back up into its liquidity area. So this is my mistake. I'm going to sell the last 10 shares right here, and we only take a $20 loss on this trade. You see how that worked out? So I would love to say I did that on purpose, guys, but this thing broke down from my area. This was my sell area, okay? And we used low share size because sometimes this happens. It'll break down even further. So I got out of half of my share size down here. I meant to get it fully out, but I even said when we got out down here, I said, hey, this is one of those things where I probably should be buying up right here because of the 21-day moving average, but either way, it broke my stop loss. I have to get out, so I take the loss like a man, and we lose $20 on this trade. No big deal. Let's see how SPY is shaping up because I want to make some of this money back. And if this thing is going to give us the pop that we want, I'm going to want to short the market. So we're going to see what this thing does. We're going to see how it shapes up. We got Boyle on the bottom. I think we can take, oh, yeah. We're going to take this off. We're going to take CRM off. And we're going to see in the future how those things shape up. So we'll watch those. We'll definitely keep an eye on those. Let's look at HPX. So HPX had a nice little bump. Look at this. And this is a very speculative stock, guys, because when this thing ramped up this crazy, HPX did this nice little push in the morning. And look where it lands, guys. Right at its VWAP area. Right there. And then it fails. And it's just sliding down to the abyss. So awesome. I absolutely love this. Good morning, Randy Worrell. Oh, we already talked to you. Mountain Dew Zombie, sorry I'm so late. I seen when you first pop in. So CRM, yeah, dang, yeah, it sucks. But hey, you know, that's why we keep an eye on it. Because if it's not going to break our range and it gives all of its money back, well, guess what? I have no money in it. So we're okay. We're sticking to the discipline rule, right? So, Mountain Dew Zombie, that's my brother. That's my brother. What's going on, brother? It's good to see you. You know I love you. I'm happy that you're here. Thank you for stopping in. Thank you for go ahead and smashing that like button for me. Guys, let me show you. Let me just show you a little something. I'm going to, actually, what am I doing? The heck am I doing, actually? So check this out, guys. This is the YouTube channel that you're watching. If you are not up to date, click that live button. Or if you're not up to date, grab the slider, pull it all the way to the right, okay? On top of that, if you slide down here, we have this little like button. We are already up to 17 likes. Holy crap, guys. Go ahead and smash that like button. 18 likes now. We are moving on up. Moving on up. Moving on up. All right, so what else we need to do, guys? Because I don't want to forget. Let's take a poll. What should we ask, guys? What should we ask in the poll? Let's ask. Let's see how the SPY looks. We're going to ask, let's see. Does the SPY... what would be the best way to ask this? Let's say SPY up, down, or sideways. So we'll bring it up. We're going to ask if the market, I'll ask it while I go. So start a question and answer. We're going to start a poll. The poll will be, how will the market end? I'm getting better. How will the market close today? And then we'll do above its open, below its open, or sideways. Do-do-do-do, gotta make a poll, oh yeah. Or sideways. There we go. So we got the poll up, baby. Let's at least get 20 people in this poll. Let's get this thing so we can get a better sentiment on what our little crew has got, what we think. So I am going to actually, yeah, we already got one person saying it's going to be above its open, and I think it's going to be below its open, but we will see how this thing shapes up. I think we're going to push above the open, and then I think we're going to eat some liquidity up, maybe 395 or something, and then we're going to see this thing fall flat on its face. Now, I don't want to see that, obviously, but that just seems to be the overall sentiment. So speaking of sentiment, let's run through the indices really quick, and we are going to do our absolute best to look at the positive side of this, okay? So the SPY is trading at 392.93, holding that 392 base, doing its absolute best to stay up. IWM back up to that 186.73, that 187 area that we have talked about for multiple weeks now. It is still trying to hold. Netflix getting a nice little bounce here, a little bit of liquidity coming in, trading at 313.05, but be very careful because it looks like it's running back into its supply. Microsoft is trading at 246.58 currently, looking like it's giving a little push in that morning open, but be careful, overhead liquidity just right there, guys. So Amazon, as we know, has been continuing to fail and not finding any support. So right now it is in no man's land, and it will be stuck in no man's land until it hits and trades sideways for a little bit. Alex says he's in Microsoft calls, going to cut it if it's not going to hold here or show some strength. So just while we are on Microsoft, we will go back, and if he is on calls, I can understand that because we have this base right here. We have this little base here. It's not much of a base, so it's pretty speculative, but we also have on this 1 hour, we have this wick offer send right here. So if this thing wants to head higher, we have to be careful because we always have this overhead resistance. This could just go whoop and get pushed right back down to here, but it's a little less, so we'll go like that. So this thing could push into this 250 area, but we got to remember we have supply overhead. 12 years old and fat said, had to go get some work done. Don't want to take my eyes off TRKA. Yeah, we actually have been keeping an eye on TRKA while you've been gone, but goodness gracious, what a push to the high side. TRKA at 0.53. We're at 53 cents at TRKA. How high can this go? Looking absolutely amazing. Will we see the ever-living squeeze happen today on this show before 12 o'clock? If you like this commentary or entertainment, guys, hit that subscribe button. Why? I'm here every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 until 12. I love to bring you analysis, commentator analysis. Guys, we're doing it all here. What else? Live trading. We got live trading every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 till 12. If you like it, if you love it, if you want some more of it, baby, I'm here for you. And if I'm not watching what you're watching, put it up in the chat so we can talk about it. We don't just talk about it, we be about it on the show, ladies and gentlemen. So we talked about Baba yesterday. New Vision brought up Baba. He said to me, Dave, take a look at Baba. What's going on with Baba? No, that was 2 days ago because we had this huge gap up. And I looked on the history. Every history of every gap up ever on Baba has sold off. And that's exactly what this did here. I also said you are in a supply area though, because if we keep bouncing off this 87.50, this $88 area, we can see Baba moving a lot higher. So look at this down here, guys. Very interesting area for Baba. If you're a long bias trader, this is looking very good right now. Bouncing off with huge wicks on the 5-minute. Bouncing off, now trading at 90.42. But do keep in mind, Baba is an overall downtrend, and this pop could just be getting sold off into its liquidity area. This is more of a demand zone, currently looking like a demand zone rather than a supply zone. But keep in mind, guys, it might just trade sideways in this area for a long time. So don't get your money stuck where you don't want it. So let's see what we got going on the poll. So far, we only got 4 votes in the poll. Come on, guys. Let's get those numbers up. What are you doing? Get off your butts. Go ahead and give me an answer on that poll. We have 4 votes, and we have 25 say open. It's going to be above. 25 say it's going to be below its open, and 50% of you say sideways. So absolutely loving it. Let's keep on. OKTA just hit an alert. I don't know why. Let's take a look at CRM to see what that's doing. Yeah, just breaking down, guys. Look at that. So it is what it is. That's why we have it set up. That's why we're keeping an eye on it. HPX still failing. Baba still pushing up higher. Let's take a look at TRKA. TRKA is looking like it's finding a little pressure there at the top at 54 cents. We're going to see what we want to do with that. Guys, I'm telling you, I need to take a quick sip. Let's take a look at CLMT as well. So CLMT on the daily, why am I looking at CLMT on the daily? Well, it does look like a beautiful cup and handle is forming. It's also holding that 10-day moving average. So if it can do a quick little thing called break this area, I would be extremely happy. I would be extremely happy with this, guys, because this right here is going to be a beautiful trade if it can shape up. So if it can get me in and it can hold, baby, I'm gonna absolutely love it. That's what we want to see here every single day. We want to make money, baby. So if you don't see on my screen what you want to see on my screen, you need to let me know in the chat. It's as simple as that, okay? Let me know in the chat. Let's see how our boys CDIO trade is doing. So it looks like he's probably already taking some profits because it's lingering around that. It's lingering around this VWAP area. Have you taken profits yet on that, Mikey? I know that you're up quite a bit. So if Mikey got into this trade and he got in around that 82, he is up roughly 11% on the trade, which, guys, if you can get that 11%, actually, Mikey told me this once. All you gotta do is nail those 10% a day. You can nail 10% on your account a day, you are making money, baby. So, Mikey, I absolutely love to see this, but let us know, are you taking profits here? I would say Mikey has taken profits already. He probably took it on this first fail right here, guys. And now it's probably CLMT. Goodness gracious. I think I was just talking about CLMT. We just had this up. I don't know why the alert's going off right now, but it is. We're going to go ahead and set this up one more time. It's kind of weird sometimes. So let's BVS. So BVS, I think, was a trade the people were watching yesterday for a pop and a drop. No, that should be today, right? Or was that yesterday? Anyway, BVS is on there. GEHC looking like garbage. SRPT. So we pointed out SRPT as a range break, and if we were in this, we'd still be in this trade, but it's just trading sideways. We're not seeing a ton of things push higher because we're seeing the overall market look like absolute crap. So we're going to see what this wants to do here. I'm not getting a really good read on the market. Let me see if I can zoom out. So if I don't get a good read on something, I zoom out. I want to see the bigger and bigger picture. So if we look at the 4 hour on this, okay, we have this beautiful uptrend, and you can clearly see like previous, like it bounce, 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 bounce. Well, what do we expect, guys? What are we expecting here? Are we expecting this to just touch and take off and go skyrocket? Or are we expecting just to touch and then just rip down through? No. This is a very obvious uptrend. We're going to see this thing play around here for a little while, okay, before it gives us a decision. So if you're getting excited, that's A-okay. That's A-okay. Mikey's flat, so that means that you've taken the trade completely off, right? You made your money. I'm thinking you made some LMT. We'll go over LMT in just a second, B, but I just want to focus on this just for a quick second. So do keep in mind, with this area, we are trading above the 200-day moving average right now, okay? If we can just keep trading sideways, for goodness sakes, if we could just trade sideways, we actually will have some constructive criticism to say about the SPY. So goodness gracious, if we could just hold up, guys, hold on to your pants. If we can hold on to our pants and then we see the SPY start trading higher, we start seeing shape up, all of these companies that you've seen that I was in or that I'm in right now or that I want to be in are going to be doing wonderful. And on the other end, if the SPY starts doing better, my take is the BOIL ETF might not be doing so well. So we are in BOIL. We are we are at $7 even. I do like it because it's a round number. I do like it because it's created this V bottom on the 4 hour. I do like it because it's broken out and came back to test that $7 area. So we're going to see if BOIL wants to, with all this liquidity down here, rise up and bring us some delicious tendies to smash on. So let's take a look at LMT really quick. LMT baby. All right. So the first thing I see with LMT is that we have all of this resistance up here. Now we talked about Lockheed Martin. We went over what Lockheed Martin is. It is like your defense system. It's your Air Force defense system. It's you know, it's guns, it's booms, it's blowy up things, right? And you know this is going to be doing well in a time of turmoil, because if they are producing the bombs and the boomy blow up things, then you know that these guys here are going to be doing well when the market is down, because fear and FUD will increase the booms and blowies, right? So LMT right now, to be very honest, you know, with the overall sentiment in the market, is probably going to sound good. But on a technical basis, it's bounced off this 200-day moving average, pushed right back up into its supply, and has not held. It has not held. So when we look at LMT right here, this to me is looking like a short sale. It's creating new lower highs, new lower highs, new lower highs. It's not holding. So if we pushed up into this area and we held, or we pushed up here and we held right here, I would say that that's looking strong. But this is creating new lower highs, and every time it touches this liquidity area, it's looking like it's selling off. So to me, LMT is looking like a short. Now it's only moves at 1.5%. Very, very slow moving stock. So if you're getting into something like this, looking more like a short. I'm bear biased on that. So keep that in mind, guys. So SPY at 393.90. Let's hold the 200 for all my bulls, and let's sell off. Let's get in those shorts for all my bears, ladies and gentlemen. You know I love it. I was born in a bear market, baby. I was born in a bear market. OCUL, let's just take a look. I'm still keeping an eye on these breakout strategies, guys, but I'm very, very hesitant on taking any of them, because these breakout strategies are only going to work when the market is trending up. And right now, if you look at the overall sentiment in the past 3 weeks, we've either been trading sideways or down. So this is good to trade in those breakouts. This is all good to trade in those breakouts. But during these times, when we have these market pullbacks, when we have all the FUD that's going on in the market as we are, then we probably aren't going to see a lot of the breakouts happening, okay? So just keep that in mind. If you're trying those breakout strategies, they really only work in a bull market. And right now, considering where we're at, we could call this a bull market, right? We're not in this downtrend anymore. We could consider it a bull market. But what happens if we break back down? Then do we say, oh yeah, well, we were in a bull market for a little bit, then we're in a bear market? No, we're in a bear market rally, you know? And this could very well be a bear market rally, so don't let it fool you. We can always head lower, but that's why we show up to pre-market prep every single Monday through Friday, 8 until 12. Why? So we can be ready for this, so we can know and understand and take our risk management seriously, so that way we can make some money, baby. If that sounds good to you, well, it sounds good to me. Hit that subscribe button, because we will do it for you, baby. Let's go. BRTX. BRTX looks like it got that good push, that good, if you will. And then look what happens. Right before it hits its tippy top, it starts to sell off. But it is holding. What happens when we see these areas with liquidity break out, get tested, sell off, and then hold? Well, let's bring up TRKA. Let's bring up a few other stocks. Look at this. It breaks out, it sells off, it breaks up, and it holds. It starts to hold right here. Breaks out, comes back, tests it, holds, and it breaks out higher. By the way, TRKA is at 52 cents. Goodness gracious. If you're in it to win it, let me know. So I just got the bot finally just filled me on my EMBC, 7 out of my 10 shares. So it's still working on getting those shares in there, but that's a-okay. It can take all the time it wants to, because we are in no rush at this point. DHC still trading sideways, looking like it's really trying to hold that push up, which is very interesting. Diversified healthcare. CDIO still trading below that VWAP area, trading sideways. Now this is what you need to be careful with when you're in these low float stocks. Now look, we've pointed out these psychological areas. Look at the 7 holding very, very well, guys. This is holding very, very well. I do need to check out something really quick. I might have to restart this. So unsettled. Okay, we're good. We're good. All right. So now I'm going to keep an eye on this right here, guys. I'm going to keep an eye on the CDIO. Why? Well, it's well extended, guys. It's well extended. I want it to trade sideways for the 10-day moving averages to catch up, obviously. But I'm going to keep an eye on this, because if it's trading underneath the VWAP but holding its base at the $7 area, this could be a very powerful move to the north side. So please keep in mind, if you're looking at CDIO, then we could get a huge volatile push to the north side. But if you're looking at TRKA, hey, might be a good time to take profit. take a little profit, and then when it pulls back and retest this area to trade sideways again, that's when you can add back into it. But I'm always talking about know your risk. If you know where your risk is at and you're up a very large amount, please just take a little off. Take a little off. Pay yourself, baby. Pay yourself. You're the man, you know? So keep that in mind, guys, that we want to know where our risk is at all times, guys. And if you hear me talking about something that you want me to look at, I'm sorry, vice versa. If I'm saying something that you don't want to see and you're seeing something that you don't see, tell me what it is. I'll bring it up and I'll make sure that you see it. Because if you don't see it, well, then you must be blind. Just let me know in chat what you want and I will bring it up, baby. SMCI, good thing I'm out of this stock. That is why we have stop losses. First Solar looks like it's breaking down, and I got to be honest, it feels good to see it come back down, but it's going to probably test this area of liquidity. You knew I was going to say that. It might test this area of liquidity. I'll go ahead and put it on the 15 minutes so we have a better understanding. Right here in this 193.59 area to this 191 area is going to be the liquidity that it's going to try and test. Now, I'm going to be very honest. I'm not in First Solar, and it would make me feel a heck of a lot better if this thing would just fail. But it's probably not going to, especially with New Vision bringing up that the overall SPY is trading at 393.87 right now. Goodness gracious, New Vision. Are we going to see this try and hold up? My guess is that we're going to get a nice little push, and we're probably going to find another sell-off here. But I have high hopes. You know I'm a bear with bull horns. I always want to make sure our 401ks, our Roth IRAs, and our investing accounts are going higher. If not, well, sometimes we have to take the horns off, put them in the trunk, grab that bear mask, and just tear in a new one. And in that case, today is not looking like the most ideal day for trading. Sitting sideways with 10 votes, guys, we still have over half of us thinking that the market will trade sideways. And I really think that it is the overall sentiment. But no fret, because no fear, we have small caps that are here that are trading very, very crazy. And you know you like it. You got to see it. When small caps are trading, people, everything just gets more exciting. Every single thing gets more exciting with these small caps. Why? Because they are so speculative. Guys, if this doesn't make you excited, look, let's say you got into this trade, this breakout trade right here, and you got in this, and you woke up the next morning, you're up 96%. It's crazy. It's crazy to me. You buy 100 shares, and then you're up $100. Like, that's amazing, guys. You know what I mean? That's amazing. That's such an easy trade, and it's just great to look at the market and say, hey, these small cap stocks we can earn a ton of money in. So the SPY at 393.92. Thank you for bringing that to our attention, New Vision. It looks like it's starting to get a nice little push. Let me put it on the 5-minute though, because I understand the 5-minute a little bit better when it comes to these liquidity pushes. Now, when it comes up here, look what it's running into, guys. Look what it's running into right here, okay? I don't know how much is there. I'm thinking it pushes up into this 395 area, okay? But this is our liquidity. This is our area of liquidity that it's going to want to try and sell off into. So let me zoom out onto the hour and see if we can't get a better understanding, okay? So there's not a ton here. There's not a ton of it here, but there is plenty. There's plenty enough to know that these bottoms at 393.50 are very important, and if it's pushing up anywhere into this area, 395 to 393, you know, we know that this thing could really sell off. So, guys, I think, you know what I'm going to do? We're gonna do a little something here. Let me bring up the Qs on this side. So this is the Qs, okay? And same thing, the Qs are coming up into this area of liquidity. Now, it could come all the way up here, but it's looking really soft right now, and it's trying to find a direction. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the SQQQ, which is the inverse ETF, and I'm going to go ahead and just buy, let's just do 50 shares of this. What is that? 50 times 40? Okay. So let's just see how much I would actually be taking of this, because we're going to do a couple day trades, I think, here. So let's do 50 times 40 here. That's 2,000 worth of buying power. Yeah, you know, I think that's good. I think we used to. And where is our stop going to be, though, on this? So the thing is I like to do my stops. You know, I like to do my stops in areas that, below areas that I think are going to hold. So I'll probably stop around this $40 area, So let's join the bid here. And what we're doing is we're actually shorting the market, guys. We're shorting this market. Okay, how are we shorting the market? By going long? Well, that's what an SQQQ is. It is a triple levered inverse ETF. So what does that mean? It means here's the Qs, here's the actual chart, and this goes the opposite of that chart. So you can almost see it. What are we on over here? The 5 minute? Let me throw you on the 5 minute on this side. All right. All right, we are in 50 shares of the SQQQ. So now, check this out, guys. This is our QQQ chart, okay? And if the Qs are coming up, this should be going down, right? So now we have the Qs coming up, and I want to short this, meaning I don't think it's going to hold this area. So what do? I get in short by taking a long on the inverse ETF, okay? So we're going to keep an eye on this because I think the market is going to come back down, at least down to where it came back in, right? So I'm getting in short. I'm in short 50 shares, which this is, you know, this is a big mover, guys. Like 3 times with 50 shares, it can move on you. So you guys don't see me take these very often, but this is what I consider a day trade. Okay, so I don't do day trades very often. I try to do swing trades, but we are going to take a nice little day trade for you today, and we're going to keep an eye on the overall market and see the sentiment. So like I said, guys, I was expecting a sell-off somewhere in here, but we could go all the way up to that 395 area, right? So I'm looking at the overall sentiment. I'm seeing how all these stocks trade, you know, looking at the SPY, looking like it's failing every day, looking at the IWM, trying to test that, well, not just trying to test, but finally broke that base at 186.79, went up through to it, and then after it comes up through, what's it finding? That supply, that's failing. Netflix had a nice little punch. Now, we talked about Netflix, Microsoft, they're all pushing up to the highs, but I keep finding all that supply over top, so I'm thinking it's going to come back down. So I'm seeing confluency, and that's what we're doing here in pre-market. That's what we are doing here. We're trying to find that confluency and to see, is the market going to come up or down? And if it comes up, how high is it going to come up? And where should I get in short or where should I get in long? So I found my mark. I feel like I have the right areas. Look at, and Tesla came right up into that area I drew out for you guys. Look at this. It's beautiful. This is why we're here for pre-market prep. This is why we are here. Guys, Rabia, right here. Rabia asked this morning, hey, what do I think? Or actually, I don't think she had to ask. I seen Rabia pop in here and I said, hey, Rabia, check this out. Check this out. So she said, you know, it's coming down into this area. Where is the next resistance area? And I said, I don't think it's down to here, but I think there's some right here in this area and it might give you a little pop. But remember, if it pops, right here is its liquidity area. And look, guys, my plan is coming right here into fruition. And that's why I love doing this on stream. Not just so I could say, I told you so, but because I can keep our members safe. And when I say members, I'm not saying anybody's paying for anything here. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button, guys, and I am at your disposal. I'm Dave. I'm with LoFiTrader. I love stock commentary and analysis, guys. What am I doing here? Live trades for you. I'm checking out the levels in pre-market prep and I'm getting you ready. And this is what we do right here. Look at Tesla. I draw the liquidity areas out for you so you know that you're safe. Rabia wanted a long this thing this morning. Well, you got your long, but be careful where you're at. You might want to get out now. So if we look over here, we're going to continue along this area. We're going to look at the rest of our sentiment. We're on Google. Google was the only thing, guys, the only thing that I said might have a nice little pop-in chance because it's in its demand area. Well, look, it's right back in that demand area. It didn't give us much of a pop. The Qs still breaking down at the 289.16, but still trading above, no, well below its opening price, actually, of our closing price of yesterday. So we need to put the SQs on our trade here so we don't forget about it. And let's look at XM. So XM still trading sideways in that area, looking absolutely awesome. As EMBC, I added in those 10 shares, and it's looking like it's not good for me. As Boyle still continues to trade sideways, and SQ gives us a nice little pop. We're up about $10 on this trade so far. So I think what I'm going to do, we'll let it go. We'll let this thing go a little bit, and we'll see where it wants to take us. So with the overall market looking like crap, if it can hold this bottom here, if it can hold up on this bottom and start showing us a little bit, maybe on that 5 minute, then I might need to take off a little off this trade. So we're going to see how this view up wants to play out. You know, maybe I take off half my shares here so we can lock in some profits, or we just wait this out a little bit and see what this day trade wants to bring us. So we will see, guys. I know I do like to take profits quick, especially on these day trades. Why? Because I've been hurt so much day trading. I have. So I like to take my profits quick, and you will see that here. But as long as the overall market doesn't want to hold these areas, you know, hey, it is what it is. We're going to see if we can get a bigger move. So I am in the SQs on a day trade, and we're going to see if this wants to hold this $40 area. So we're seeing a lot of wicks right off here on the bottom of Qs. So this might have been a bad idea. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take off half of our shares. Maybe not, maybe not. We're gonna leave this sit. I'm getting a little too excited, so we're gonna get away from it. Let's look at our other trades. So XM actually looks like it's showing more proof of concept. Every day when it sells off, it creates a new higher low on that hourly for us, and it is trading sideways. I'm fine with sideways action, guys, as long as it builds, and take off higher. Rabia pops in and says, can you look at ONCS? Absolutely. And yeah, you know what? You did miss it because you weren't here for pre-market prep, Rabia. I'm only teasing. We are going to go over these tickers constantly, so no apologies. As long as you are chatting in the chat, I'll be happy with that. So, Rabia, it came right up to that $3 area, and it sold off hard. Now trading at 243. With this trade, we'll move in on that 5 minutes, and we'll say, hey, what's going on in here on the 5 minute? Well, if we look at the daily, we're not seeing a ton of daily resistance. I think the biggest daily resistance we have is about at that 350 area. It never even got up to that area, but in pre-market, it got up to this $3 area with nothing around it. Really nothing around it, except for maybe this, this volume over here having a little bit of resistance. But I'm blind right here with this, honestly, Rabia. I don't see anything in this except for if we look at its main traded area, which is around this 225, if it can come down to this 225 and still keep building this base, we have better concept. We'll need to see it trade sideways for a couple of days for me to want to take interest in this. But this ONCS is trading at 242 currently right now, and if it can continue to hold these gains from previous days, then we might have proof of concept for a future trade. So let's take a look at the Qs. The Qs are still dropping. Why do I keep bringing up the Qs? Well, because I have a trade in SQs, and I want to make sure that we are printing money. I don't want to lose money. I want to make money, and I hope you're here to do the same gosh darn thing. So on this left side, we're going to go through these small cap stocks that we're keeping an eye on. We got about 6 to take a look at. So BRTX keeps wicking off at that top, but constantly wanting to fight that area. This BRTX might be one of those trades we talked about where we have some volume back here, but not a lot. It breaks through that volume, comes back and starts testing that volume. We talked about this morning that if it keeps wicking off and doesn't break these highs and wants to keep trading in this area, this volume is coming in. This volume is getting great, and this thing might really want to soar to the north side. So be careful. We've seen many trades like this. Now, it's not exactly like the rest of the trades, but if we look at this base that we drew, it's breaking a huge area, and this thing really has an opportunity to trade higher. So just make sure you're managing your risks, guys, because if you get into something like this, you can really make or break your bank. You really can. So just keep that in mind, guys. I want everybody in here. Heiser, I'm still holding CRZQ. Are you kidding me, bro? You are still holding CRZQ. That's amazing. So CORZQ. Let's see how that looks. But before I go over there, I do need to see how the Qs look like they're shaping up, because this might be the VWAP area where I need to take this off. So is Q going to break this VWAP area, or is it going to hold? If this breaks this VWAP area and heads lower, then my SQ's trade will go higher and I will make more money. The overall sentiment is going to be to the downside today, but because we've had such a big sell-off, am I trying to sell the bottom? Am I? So that's a great question, and that's something that we need to take in consideration, because I still have my hopes for this, right? I still have high hopes for this. So let's take a look at the hourly and let's see the wicks. I'm getting some confusion here, right? We don't know exactly what's going to happen. So I'm going to give this time to work out, guys. I'm going to give this time for this trade to work out. We're down about 75 cents on this, but we need to give this thing some time. All right, so like I said, this thing could pop all the way up to this 192 area. So we'll see what it wants to do, and we will come back to take a look at it. So CORZQ is my boy Heiser's in. CRZQ. And are you longing this or are you shorting this, Heiser? As far as I understand, you are shorting CRZQ, and you've been shorting this thing since about 45 cents or 50 cents, if I'm right. So, guys, 15 of you in here now. If you haven't yet, just go ahead and take a look at the screen. I have a little something popped up for you, and that is the poll. Guys, is the poll going to be up? Is it going to be above its open day, below its open day, or sideways? So I choose sideways. We're at 50 cents on that. But while you're here, go ahead and hit that like button right here. We're already up to 15 likes. Let's bring this up. We want to see about 20 likes, I think, is our goal, is to get that 20 likes. We only need 5 more of you in there. And if you haven't, guys, if you haven't, okay, this is self-preservation right here. Guys, I am here every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 until 12. If you like stock commentary, if you like analysis, or you like seeing me do live trades right in front of you like I'm in one right now, guys, then hit that subscribe button because I want to be your voice. So let's see what we got going on, guys. Let's see what we got going on, baby. We got, things are looking good. No, I'm long from 11 cents. So you must have played that 5, huh? Yeah, long from 11 cents. So he got in from down here. So he plays penny stocks. He uses this right here, this setup right here, guys. He sent this to me probably a year or 2 ago when I first started studying the way he does, trying to figure out his type and his style. That's just a penny stock thing, guys. And look you can see this is building an cumulative base right here. You know, you see it come down, it trades sideways, it pushes up, it comes back, and it holds this base at 27 cents. He got in way down here at 11 because that's the number 5. It's already down here at its run up, and he got in and he held, and he's still holding this for a bigger move. So this is a totally different way of trading, guys. If it's the first time you've seen this, we have Heiser actually in our general chat in LoFiTrading, and he talks and will post his charts all the time. So if that's something that interests you guys, you can join our Discord. Everything is absolutely free. If I bring it up, it's free. So if you guys want to talk to Heiser, you want to see his charts, he likes to post them right here in LoFiTrading Discord. And we got Mikey on the track as well. So keep that in mind. He likes to post his charts as well, so we can see how these high-flying, low-cap traders do it, baby, because they like to bring the heat. They like to bring it. So we need to take a look at the Qs. And we'll see how long I can hold this in for, guys. I'm feeling like I need to use the restroom. It is 10:30 though. Shoot, I got this. An hour and a half of holding it. I can do it. I'll take a sip of coffee to that, right? He takes a sip of coffee and then just poops his pants immediately. Like, I'm not leaving, guys. This is stream for life. Stream for life. You know, like, nah. Like, start yelling for my wife. Babe, please, just bring me in some toilet paper. The show must go on. The show must go on. So, all right, we're keeping a close eye on this SQ's trade because if this breaks down, goodness gracious, do I want to be in it? Absolutely not. We're going to be out of this thing quick as heck because we don't know really what is going to happen. This day trading stuff might not be for me. Only kidding. I'll always be here day trading. I'll always be here kicking ass, and I'll always be here taking names. But we got to do it with risk in mind, guys. So anytime you get into a trade, you need to make sure you know what you are risking. You can use a hard stop. You can use a soft stop. But whatever you use, please use it mindfully. We don't want anybody in here going broke. We want to see you in here tomorrow for pre-market prep, ready to take another trade. So don't ever trade outside of your wheelhouse. Don't ever trade too much than you're willing or risking to lose, guys. Because if you do that, then you're not going to want to show up. You're not going to want to learn every day. You know, I've been there close a few times where you take a few big hits and you're like, nope, I'm done with the market. But there is something about the market that draws me to it. It doesn't matter. If I get away from it, I'm still listening to YouTube. I'm still learning. I still want to know about finances. I want to know how to make money and extrapolate money from the market. And if you are like-minded, well, you know where to find me, baby. Every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 till 12. Man, I'm getting good with that saying, aren't I? I love it. SMCI still holding out those bottom. Well, First Solar breaks away, bouncing off that 195. We talked about this, guys. We talked about this. What did I say? I said right here, this VWAP area, this 191, well, a little higher. It's 192 where it actually caught above its previous day VWAP. Now trading at 195.98. Congratulations to any of you solar heads that are in that dang trade because I am not. This would have been a beautiful trade on an earnings gap up play. Very large on this 5-minute range, but hey, I'm wishing now that I would have taken it. But that's okay. We're going to see plenty of trades that I'll miss and plenty of trades that I'll take. We're going to see winners. We're going to see losers here because that is what trading's all about. That is why I have this submarine up, because from time to time, guys, you're going to feel like you're underwater. And jiu-jitsu is the exact same way. When you first start out, it feels like you're underwater. You have no idea what you're doing. You're getting your butt kicked every single day. Shout out to all my boys that are in jiu-jitsu that are in this chat right now. Thank you. I appreciate you being here. Much love. Can't wait for my knee to feel better so I can get right back to choking. You know what I mean? So SQs are looking pretty weak right here. Let's look at the overall Qs. Yeah, the overall Qs looks like they're trying to push up even higher. So maybe I get out of this trade now and try to wait for this to get up a little higher before I take that short. So let's see. We're going to take out 25 now. $25 out. We're down $3 on that trade. We're going to see if this wants to continue down. We'll get the last 25 out and we will wait. We will wait to see if we want to get back into this thing in the soon future. And right there it is, guys. So we're going to get out for a very small $10 loss. Those will add up, though. So even though it's a small loss, guys, keep in mind, those will add up. You take a $10 loss every single day, well, guess what? You're losing 60 a week. You're losing 70. You're losing 50 a week, technically. And then you're losing 200 a month, you know. And if 200 a month isn't a bill to you, well, you know, that's the electric for me. You know, I'm paying about 150 a month, so instead of losing that money, I'd rather make that money. So I'm going to use that, and I'm going to learn, make sure I understand, and we're going to see if this is the best spot for me to get out. Is Q's going to keep heading higher? I get a better reading on SPY because we look at the SPY more, and there we go. Now, it looks like the SPY is holding that 200-day moving average. It is still holding. It is still trying. It still wants to push higher. But we got to keep in mind, guys, it's running right into that little patch of liquidity just above us. So what is this going to do here? Does the TQs or does the SPY want to hold up? Does it want to maintain the structure? Or does it want to head lower and fizzle out? We can always play the TQs too, guys. If you're playing the other side, if it's bouncing, you're seeing a lot of wicks off. Now, I've already missed my moment. This would be more of a shorting moment rather than going long where I got out. So let's keep that in mind, guys. Maybe I take another trade on SQs and we just kind of hold it out and we wait it out, but that is another bad idea. If we're all expecting for it to trade sideways, if we're all expecting for this thing to trade sideways, then diddling in the middle is not the best thing to do. We don't want to take a trade if we're just going to be chopping around here. So maybe that was my day trade for the day. It's A-okay. I'm going to have to chop that one up as a loss. Let's see how the rest of our stuff is doing. Of course, Boyle is going to fall as long as the overall market is pushing higher. But we're going to hold on to this trade, and we're going to use this to see if the overall market wants to head lower after it hits its liquidity area. And if that's the truth and it wants to head lower, then that's great. We were talking about this earlier this morning too when I took the trade, that it's probably going to come down here somewhere and it's going to want to test, right? So it's testing this area and it broke through. So what's our next testing area? It's going to be this 679 area where the top's in the pre-market, and we have the volume right here, the 669 from previous day. So if it breaks that 669, I will be out of this trade. If it wants to continue higher for me, well then I will probably add into this break higher on 7, and we will keep on keeping on. Tesla pulling market back up. So it looks like Tesla actually found a nice little bid down there, which is great. Good for you, Tesla. And it looks like it's running, well, right back in to that resistance area. So it looks like it sold off, it touched it, it sold off, and it came right back up. So be careful in this area, guys, because this is its supply area. Now, this thing could break through its supply area and trade sideways, which would show very strong, you know, in Tesla with the overall market. Well, actually, the overall market now is looking a little different, isn't it? So maybe we should head through this and take a peeky gander and see. So yeah, SPY actually looks like it's being very healthy, very constructive, trading back up to that 394.21. Yeah, so I guess when I decide to take a short on the market is the best time to go long, guys. So keep that in mind on that sentiment. If you see me go long, or if you see me go short, maybe it's time to go long. So this thing's pushing right back up into that 394.25. Now this is the liquidity area from yesterday. Super chop from yesterday. We got that big V bottom, that big sell-off when it came back into the top, and its average area is at that 395. So we'll see if this stock wants to, or the SPY wants to get back up into that 395 area. If it does, with SPY being in its liquidity area, let's just run through everything really quick so I can get overall sentiment. IWM giving a nice little push. Let's see, Netflix still wicking off on the top, trying to push, but still wicking off. Microsoft looking like it's going to fail just above the VWAP, and Amazon at 91.28, just trading sideways, looking like it's going to fail, as well as Meta almost coming back up to that liquidity area that I talked about. It's still about $1 away from it, but it's sold off again pretty hard. Let's take a look at NVIDIA. So NVIDIA's trying here, but wicking off on the top as well. Let's take a look at, so we already talked about Tesla wicking off now into that supply area, and Google. So guys, to me, honestly, let me just bring up the Qs and AAPL, because I still want to short this market. I still think this thing's going to head lower. But I've been wrong before. I've been wrong once today. Only time's going to tell. So here's the SPY up in these tops, wicking off. We're going to see if it wants to hold. Will the 5 give me any more information, or is it just going to confuse me? Let's see. So it looks like it's, man, it's a tough one, guys. It's a tough one. It is a tough one. So maybe I will go back to the SQs and we'll revisit this. So we got out right about down here, and we're trading just below that VWAP area. You know, we're getting some wicks off on the bottom. Let's take a look at the hourly. We are starting to get some wick off on the hourly at that bottom. We caught this base at that $40 area, okay? So we're going to see what this wants to do. CORZQ and hold. Yeah, that CORZQ is definitely awesome. Still trading well up there at 38 cents. Holy cow. Howly cow. H-O-W-L-Y. Howly cow. That's one howly cow, y'all. So anyway, listen up, ladies and gentlemen. Our poll is at 16 votes. We need to have 20 before we make it inofficial with a whistle. So we got above at 31%, SPY below at 19%, and sideways we are at 50% at 16 votes. So if we can get just a couple more votes in here, we will call it quits on that. CORZQ trading at 38 cents. Just skyrocketing to the north side. Well, the Qs, what is going on with you, good old sir? It looks like the Qs, yep, right there at that top. Right there at that top. Isn't that a beautiful thing? Not for me. Not for me, ladies and gentlemen. Not for me. Let's see how Boyle's doing on this right-hand side. So Boyle is doing exactly as I had anticipated, coming down, touching that 675 area, and we're going to see if it wants to continue what I anticipated of it coming back up and pushing through that 7 so I can add into a trade as the Qs are starting to break back down here, and it is looking like we're seeing a correlation in the market. When the market goes up, the Boyle will come down, and as the market comes down, Boyle will go up. So this is seeing an inverse correlation in the market overall. So that's very interesting. Let's look at hourly to hourly to see if it's been doing the same thing on the hourly. So we have this V market bottom, so we should see a V top, and it looks like we are kind of seeing that V top. Okay, so I don't know. We'll see. I don't have a firm grasp on Boyle. It's just very interesting to me. So I took a small little trade, a small little long into it, and we will see how that wants to play out for us. The Q is trading at 289 right now. Let's zoom in here on the 5 minute to try and get a better idea. Yeah. So this is just trading sideways, guys. Chopping around, chopping around, y'all. Let's take a look at XM. So you guys know I'm in XM, and every time it comes up to that area at the top, it keeps selling off at that $17. You know, with nothing holding up in the market, it's hard for me to want to get out of this though. Why? Because it's the only thing that looks good in the market that I've had. So it makes me want to just hold this for the long, simply put, because with, you know, let's just say the market actually wants to hold here, and it actually wants to take off, and it actually forms a base around this 200-day moving average, and it just goes berserker to the north side. Well, what happens? What happens with XM? What do you think is going to happen if the overall market is doing amazing, well, then the overall market is going to help bring up XM, and XM is going to go absolute slingshot to the north side. But we do have to keep in mind, XM only has an ADR of 3.7%. Now look at CDIO. We keep going over CDIO, and it is very interesting, guys, because if it does not break down, if it doesn't break down and CDIO wants to hold, then we might have another trade in this, just like we had a trade here. So this thing broke up and then it traded sideways. And I would have said the same thing, and we could probably go back because I know I've made comments on the CDIO before. CDIO, when we have this push up and it starts to break down, it's trading sideways. It's trading sideways, and it traded sideways in this $3 area, between 3 and 370 area for 2 days. So it popped up in pre-market on the 28th, and then on the 29th, it continued, or I'm sorry, on the 31st, it traded sideways all the way up until it broke that 365 area and pushed higher. So now that we've pushed higher and we look on this, we are at the highest CDIO has ever traded, meaning we don't have any levels to look at. We have blue skies, okay? And if we have blue skies, I mean, that's great. That's a great thing, but it also keeps us from gaining any information. The only information we can get now is what it's going to give to us. So when we look at this chart on the 5-minute, we don't have anything really setting up right now. The only thing that we can hope for, and I say that respectfully, is that it trades sideways in this $7 area, just like it trades sideways in this 350 area. And then after that, we can form a nice base, and we can see where this thing wants to head. Let's take a look at CRZQ. And you're asking me if it's halted on my end. I actually don't know how to tell if CRZQ is halted on Thinkorswim. The only thing, and no, it's not. It's moving. We're up to 0.41 cents, and now it's broke down to 0.40 cents. So I'll keep this up here on the right-hand side, and I'll just try to use this left one for right now. But back to CDIO, this thing, you can tell in pre-market, it made this little sideways action, push higher, came back down, and it tested that demand area. Now I told you that this isn't really its demand area. Like, its real demand area would be more down here by this $5 area, but it held this little bit. It held it. And every time it comes down to touch, it's making a new lower high. Okay? So now if it's making new lower highs, it's already tested its demand area and only hung out there for literally probably 10 seconds. Well, that is an extremely bullish sign for CDIO. Now, don't take what I'm saying as a buy or sell recommendation either, though, because these things are wildly speculative. We know that CDIO has a very small float, and this thing could fail very quickly. So CDIO, wonderful stock, absolutely so much fun to pay attention to and watch, and we will definitely keep on keeping on when we come to watching CDIO. So awesome. Thank you, Rabia, for bringing that up. Is it up from here was the actual question, and I would say I need more sideways action. You know, I need more sideways action to really see if this thing can take off, okay? But overall, with the overall sentiment, yeah, it looks like it could go up. It definitely could go up, but I don't really have a very good risk in mind, you know? Not a very good risk in mind. CORZQ breaking down to 39 cents. We're going to see what happens here, but it looks like it's forming a flag. This might be a great time to take profit because if we look on the daily, we can see that it's making like this flag pattern. Actually, it looks like it's breaking out of that flag pattern. So I take back what I just said. I definitely take back what I just said. Well, that's odd. Maybe because it's not on a log scale? That's interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, CRZQ is very interesting here. I would just be careful, guys. If you're in this stock and you're long, take some profits because this thing might come back to try and retest an area, or it could continue higher. These aren't my type of trades. That's why I come to Heiser and I ask Heiser, hey, what's going on with this stock? And he tells me because he knows better than I do when it comes to these penny stocks. Now, this penny stock is looking absolutely advantageous. We have this accumulation base that formed right here, and he has been holding since this 27-cent area because of this base. And now that it's taken off and it's went up higher, he's taking profits as it goes up. CDIO, Mikey was in the stock, he was shorting this stock, and he is flat now, meaning he is He is completely out of this trade. He's already made his trade, and hopefully he'll be posting his chart soon, so that way we can get a little sentiment on it. So I'm asking him to post CDIO, so that way I can go over it with you guys and see where he got in, where he got out. So let's take a look at MTC. Looks like MTC is breaking down. It did not hold that third day of push, and we talked about why we don't think it was going to hold that push. Why? Well, because all this in this area up top here, there's nothing up here. There's nothing to hold it up. There was no base. There was no support. The support is right here at 150. All right. So we are going to go to Mikey's Twitter right here. And let's take a look. So this is Mikey's Twitter, Mikey G Trader. I like to follow him. What is this about? All right. I don't want to see all this crap. All right, let me get rid of this. I'll bring it up again. I'll bring it up on my other. There we go. All right, check it out. So this is his trade right here on CDIO. So we can see that he is on the 1 minute time frame. Let me bring up the CDIO over here. We'll bring this up on the 1 minute time frame as well, so you guys can get a better correlation, a better understanding. So this is what we have, and this is what we have in the previous day. So we have this overhead, a little bit of overhead resistance right here, and so we know that if it pops back up to here, we might have some selling off because it's already trading below that. So see all this action, lots of people in here, lots of people buying, lots of crap going on. It breaks down here, and then you see inactivity, lots of illiquidity, and then it starts to get exciting, and it pops up right into the bag holder's hands, and it starts to sell off, okay? So we talked about all that in pre-market. Now let's take a look at Mikey's picture here. Okay, so Mikey puts these on his Twitter. Okay, and Mikey absolutely it fascinates me how well he is at trading these. And you got to be quick. You got to be quick, and you got to be in front of the market. But look at this. It gets that pop up, and he takes a short at the peak. And as it comes down, when he's in and he's winning that money, he's adding into that short. And then when it gets that first liquidity flush, what happens? He takes profits. He takes more profits. And then when it starts chopping around, he takes profits. And now he's flat. He's out. So he made 8%, I think, on that trade today. I'm going to have to, let me just go ahead and take a peeky gander because he got in somewhere in this area and got out somewhere in this area. So yeah, he took about a 16% win on that trade. I could be wrong on the actual math on that, but guys, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I like to see. That's what we want. That's what we want here, guys, is we want to see those 10% gains, those 20% gains. And you're only going to get that if you have good risk reward. And he used good risk reward. Why? Well, right here is his risk. If you go off of where he was in, up to the top of this, he's risking 6% to gain 16%. Okay, that's at least a minimum of a 1 to 3, almost a 1 to 4 risk reward on that, guys. That's awesome. So now that you know Mikey's not shorting this thing anymore, maybe he'll have time for this thing to settle and for Rabia to come in here and make some profits to the north side, right? That's good coffee. CORZQ looks like it's slowing down. It's at 39 cents right now. Let's take a look at the overall market. So the SPY looking like, and it's a good thing we got out of our short, guys, because it looks like it's shaping up well over VWAP, looking like it wants to push higher here. I do like this trade. Look at this. You got this base here, and it breaks down, it catches, it pushes up higher, and it comes back down, and now it's catching again, and it's trading sideways. So if the SPY wants to continue to do this, now I'm looking on the 1 minute. I don't like looking on the 1 minute. Let's zoom out to the 15, give us a better idea of what's going on. Guys, it's almost 11 o'clock. Almost 11 o'clock. Holy crap, I only got an hour left with you guys. Well, I'm happy to be here. And if you guys don't know who I am, my name is Dave. I'm with LoFiTrader. What we like to do here is bring you the best commentator analysis. I like to commentate and analyze. Oh, goodness, now I can't even talk. Just hit that subscribe button, dang it. How about that? Just hit that sub. Everything's going to be A-okay. Everything's on fire, but it'll be okay. It'll be okay. It's going to be fine. All right, CDIO making some new concepts here, looking absolutely phenomenal. Hopefully it can shape up for BF to take and make some money. So BRTX looks like it's right down to that area that I drew out for you guys. I said, if this thing can hold in this area, because we've had previous resistance and it's breaking out over all of these highs, if it can come back down and test and show us that it wants to move higher, this might be a great trade to take. So we are going to keep an eye on that because it looks like it's shaping up. This might be a nice time to buy. Now we need to go back to Boyle because I know for a fact if the market's going good, Boyle might be hurting itself. But Boyle is still trying to hold. We're going to keep an eye on it and make sure it doesn't get too low on us. XM still trading above that 17 area, and you know we like that as EMBC is starting to break down. We want to make sure EMBC keeps holding these new lower highs. If it breaks this area, I'm probably just going to get out because the overall market does look pretty duty-poo. BRTX, man, this looks like the spot, guys. This looks like the spot. So keep that in mind. No buy or sell recommendations here, but it's looking like it's shaping up. If we can get some volume to come in for BRTX, this could actually move. But if you look at the overall sentiment, anytime this thing gave a pop, it sold right back off. So is this going to be a slow seller offer, or is it going to be a biggity buyer move up higher? We will see very soon. So, you know, it's a good thing I got out of the SQ. That's why we have stop losses, guys. But it's looking like I want to get back into it. If this thing wants to keep on climbing higher, it's making a triple top right here, a triple top. I think I like that triple top, and I'm going to go ahead and take that trade. We'll take 50 shares one more time and give it a shot. Okay, we're joining the bid. Why am I joining the bid on SQs if I want to short the market? Well, simply put, I see the market and I think the market is going to fail in these areas. If it does fail in those areas, I want to be short the market. Shorting the market will be going long in the SQs, which is the reverse ETF of the Qs. So if I can get in and bam, now we're in right away. Why do I always put the bid in that? Oh, and look at that. It looks like it's going to take off higher. If you guys know, if I'm trying to short the market, maybe that's all we got to do. I just got to tell the market I want to short the market, and then we will move higher, higher, higher. Simple as that, guys. So let me short the market, and we can all make money together. So if this market wants to break through this triple top at 290.50, I will be out right away because I know for an absolute fact that it could really take off if it wants to break that area. So what am I going to do here? I'm going to sit here and wait, and I'm going to keep an eye on this trade because I want to make money. I don't want to lose money. Don't want to lose money, no sirree. So we're going to see if these wick off on the bottom. If I got into a good area and these tops, this triple top on the Qs want to fail. But if they want to push higher and they want to bring the overall market and sentiment up with it, that's A-okay with me. Let's make some money on the long side. So we'll see if this thing wants to break higher. If I need to get out of another small loser on the short, it looks like I decided to short the day. It was the worst day to short. Why? Because I keep talking about this $200 moving average. If it can hold this $200 moving average and continue to head higher, things are looking great for the overall market. So maybe I flip and I switch and I sell this and we take a long trade to the north side. But I don't want to get scared out too early. We need to make sure this is the trade we don't want to be in because this would be the time to short the market if you were going to short it. And if you were going to go long, you should have bought in at this VWAP area. So I am short and I hold my ground until otherwise. We will see what happens here, guys. I'm very pumped. I'm very pumped to be here, as you can tell. Maybe we just set our 50 stop loss right here at the base so that way we know when we're wrong. Right here. It's set. Now I can forget. Right? That's not right. All right, we got our 50 shares set. Our stop loss is set. My line has been drawn in the sand. If I think this is going to break this triple top, guess what? My hands are free and I'm out. I'll take a very small loss on it. But I'm looking at this triple top and I'm looking at the overall sentiment in the market and things don't look good, guys. Things don't look good. So if I could just play this day trade and bring it right back down, possibly to VWAP. Maybe we'll get half out there, and then we can get the other half out if it wants to go lower. Maybe we even take a swing to the south side. But we have to keep in mind, guys, we are at a triple top. It's creating new lower highs on the 1 minute. If we look on the 15 minute here, it is also bringing up the fact that we are trying to defend that 200-day moving average. It's trading just above it. But will it act as resistance now and start to head lower? That is why I am in a short, because the overall sentiment to the market looks to the downside. So we long SQs, which is a triple levered ETF that wants to head to the north side. At least I want it to. I don't know if you want it to. If I'm not talking about what you are in, what you are playing, let me know, guys, because I want to be your voice. I want to be your commentator. All right, take a look at this, guys. We do have a poll. The poll right here. I chose sideways. So let me know what you think. We only have 17 votes. We only need a few more of votes, and we will see where our sentiment lies. So right now, 47% say we are going to move to the south sideways. So it looks like we are out of our TQ's position again, getting knocked out. So will this trade, will this take off higher? Is it going to break off these triple tops and head on higher? Only time will tell. This looks absolutely phenomenal. We'll see if this is what's going to happen. Is this where it finally breaks to the high side? Let's see SPY. Let's see SPY. Let's see what's happening, guys. SPY, look at this. SPY trading at 394.38. It's at its highs for the day right now, and it's going right up into that red-green area. We could draw that red-green area for you. I'll just do it in gray so we have a better idea. But this red-green area right here, this is its red-green area. So maybe it can push up into that red-green area from yesterday's close. Is that yesterday's? Oh, I'm sorry. So yesterday's close was actually right here. So let's take a look now. And it looks like it's getting close to that area, okay? So like I said, I think we're going to see a small pop today into this area, and I think we are going to see a nice little short sale there. But only time will tell. Plus, my crystal ball is completely broke today, guys. Completely broke. So what do I know? I'm just a talking head on YouTube. And if you like what I like, or if you don't know what you like, go ahead, hit that like, hit that subscribe, because I'm here every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 until 12. We just take a sneak peek at coffee once in a while, and I'm only here for another hour, guys. One more hour left in my day trading job, and then I will be out of here. I'm going to be a daddy-o with my kids-o, having some fun-zo. That's right, lots of O's. Let's see here. 2K, yeah, well, you know, it might be, it might go, it might do its thing though, and that's a-okay. Let's take a look at Boyle. So Boyle, we are still seeing want it to play in this area. We'll see if that's what it wants to do. Does it want to just hang out there and just be a Boyle, or is it going to continue higher with the market? EMBC, yeah, this thing is just tanking now. All I got to do is add into it, right? I added into it, and this thing wants to fail. But that's okay. It's still making new higher lows. It's still showing proof of concept. If I draw a little something like this, you can see that this is landed right on its line here, okay? So right there is its line in the sand. So we'll see if that's what it wants to do as the SPY comes up and is testing that 394.35 area, but we want to see it come up into that 395 area so we can really figure out what we want to do. So let's take a look at XM, see if that's still holding up for us. It is. It's, you know, 2 cents higher than where I bought it. Not looking the prettiest, so we'll see. We'll see what we want to do. So far, we are down a nice 13.56 today. We're taking our losses quick. We're taking our losses small. And even if it's a red day for us, I'll be happy with the losses that I took because they are so small. But we are still going to do our best to make that money back when we see this hit that 494.77, 495 area. That is my next line. That's where I will try and take one more short to at least get back down to VWAP, make that money back, maybe even take a little profit with it, baby, and then we will make sure we are managing our positions accordingly. So everything's looking a-okay right now, except for maybe that EMBC is looking like complete crap. So we will see what the SPY wants to do with us right now. If it hits at 195, especially coming up to lunchtime where things do get to be a little bit of a law, we might get a nice retracement. If not, maybe I'm wishing I'd bought all this stuff up right here at this base. But with the overall sentiment, are we going to get that soft landing that Mr. Papa Powell constantly talks about? Will we get that sentiment? I don't know. But I want to be ready when it does. So that's why I show up for pre-market prep every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 until 12, guys, because we need to be ready. If you're not ready, well, then you're late. And if you're late, then you're going to be looking at First Solar like I am, going, what in the heck happened here? So, am I going to be able to wait for that 395 to hit? Because we're starting to see a lot of wicks. That's why I don't need to be on the 5-minute, guys. I need to be looking at the 15-minute, but trying to do a day trade, you want to zoom in on day trade level. So we are doing exactly that. We are looking at the 5-minute. We are looking at the 15-minute. We are going to get an overall sentiment to see what is going to happen here. So now this is where I said the liquidity is. This is where I think that we are going to sell off here. So I'm going to join the bid here. We're going to take one last try on this. My third and final try on this trade, guys. So we'll see if it wants to even get me in, because it looks like it's already starting to sell off here, which hurts, obviously. Let's look at the 15. Let's look at the 1 hour. So we got the hourly. We're starting to see some wicks on the hourly. Let's look at the 15. Starting to see a lot of wicks on that 15. So I want to get into this, and it came down and it touched my area, but it never got me in. So we're going to see if I can actually get into this thing, because I think this is going to be the juicy trade of the day. So I'm going to move my buy up just a little bit here. And of course, it's not going to get me in, is it? No way. It's not going to get me in. Not going to get me in today. Goodness gracious. Well, I don't want to chase this thing, so I'm not going to move this up anymore. I think this is where the market sells off. There, I'm finally in. I had to chase a little bit, guys. I wanted to get in at this 40.42. I'm in at 40.52, so I got it for 10 cents higher than I wanted. And look, now it's going to come back, of course, but we will see. I'm going to defend this 394 area for a little bit, and we'll see if we can make anything of it. Day trading can be tough. It can be very hard. That's what I'm here to show you guys. We aren't trying to act like I'm some guru or I'm some amazing, like I'm making millions a day. I'm not, guys. I'm making enough to buy groceries, really. That's all I'm making. That's all I made last month. I made enough to buy groceries, but I do this for you, guys. I do this for you. I like to be a commentator. I like to take live trades in front of you, and I like to get better every single day. And if you like to get better too, then you are in a group of same situation. We are all in the same situation. We want to get better every day. We are losers unless we are learning, and we try to learn from our mistakes every single day. So this is my third try, my third and final try, trying to get my butt into these into the SQs for a short at the top. Now, if I would have just been a little bit more patient, I would have been able to have these 50 shares a little bit closer where I wanted, because I drew this liquidity line out, but I took this at this top, and then I took it again at a triple top, and then I took it again and chased it when it finally hit my buy-in area. So I didn't get my entry in nearly as well or as clean as I wanted to, but that is part of trading, guys. That's what we're here to learn from. So I'm up a cup of coffee right now, but we're going to see if this thing wants to hold, or is it going to find a base, trade sideways on that 21-day or that 200-day moving average, and start really shaping up for us to take an even bigger trade to the north side. So we are in that teetering. We are in that sideways action. So what I'm looking for is when this thing pulls back, I'm looking for this on the SPY or on the Qs to pull back to the VWAP area. And that's where I'm going to take most of my profits, trying to render a break-even day. But am I going to get that? Not exactly sure, guys. Only time is going to tell, but I am just happy to be here. So if you're happy to be here too, let me know it in the comment sections. We only have 17 votes on that poll. Guys, we need to get it up to 20. So, hey, enough to buy groceries with money taken out of the market is one more bill you're not paying for. Thank you, Hollow. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's what we're trying to surround ourselves, guys, with, is positive people just like Hollows. He comes in here, yes, that's paying a bill. That's the thing. A lot of people don't realize. They say, oh, you're only up $135 last month? Well, why aren't you making millions? Well, have you ever lost $1,000 in one day in the market? Well, I have. I've lost that kind of money in one day, and it hurts, guys. And if you don't learn from that, and you don't start thinking positive, like, hey, I'm up $10, maybe I'll get 5 out, or hey, this is this, or this is that, and you don't look at it in the positive way, well, you're going to be hurting. You're going to be taking small losses here and there every single day, and those are going to be little paper cuts that add up. Next thing you know, you got a bloody hand. So absolutely, 135 last month. I am very proud of myself for that because I'm not losing money. I'm making money, and that is beating 95 to 98% of all day traders out there. So I'm here to show you it is tough, it is hard, and sometimes you feel like you're under pressure. That's why I have this red submarine up here, guys, is because sometimes it is going to feel like you're under pressure, especially if you're doing it live. So if we can extrapolate just a little bit of money every single day, those add up. So I want to make sure my losses stay small and my winners stay big. And currently, I've been doing a great job at keeping my losses small. But with the overall sentiment in the market, it is very, very hard to trade for myself. Maybe not for you, maybe not for Alex, but for myself, it has been a little harder to trade. So I've taken some small paper cuts in the past couple days, but because I manage my risk, those have been small, and I think we can fight back already. It's only the second day of the month, so we got plenty of time to do that. So stick with me, guys. If you want to be a part of a small growing channel, hit that subscribe button, baby. I'm here every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 until 12. Let's go, baby. You know I love it. You know I love it. And if you know I love it, you love it too, baby. So let's hit that subscribe. I'm going to take a sip of coffee. These are my 5-second breaks that you know I love. We got 50 shares in the SQs. We are expecting the market to go down, and that's why I'm in the inverse 3x leverage ETF called SQQQ. If you know SQ and you love SQ, let me know. Do you trade SQ? Do you not trade SQ? Do you throw yellow snowballs at your brother? If you guys didn't know, that's good coffee. And it's delicious. Not only delicious, but it's also nutritious. I love it. You love it. We want some more of it. What are you guys drinking? Let's see here. What do we got going on in the overall market? Let's start with the SPY. The SPY came up and touched that very, very small area that I pointed out for you guys. Usually they are a lot bigger than this, but because it is such a small area, we might actually just touch, come back, trade sideways, and head higher. That is what we want to see with the overall market. If you have a 401k or a Roth IRA, that is what we're looking for. But right now, in a day trader situation, because it hit its liquidity, and I'm just dying to take a short, I decided to short the market, and I'm expecting it to pull back to VWAP so I can take some money, make some profits, and maybe break even for the day. Other than that, we are down $15. Goodness gracious, I can't afford a pair of shoes now. Maybe I go broke. But it's a-okay, ladies and gentlemen, because we are going to be here every single day, Monday through Friday, trying to make that money. So, SPY pulling back, looking like our short is going to work out as where IWM is pushing higher, bouncing off that 186.75 area that we drew out for you a long time ago. Now, is this pop going to be quickly found with a short sale, or will it actually hold, trade sideways, and then head on higher back to that 230 area that it traded for so long in last year? All right. Let's see what else we got. Netflix. Oh, Netflix wicking off of that top, heading down to the low side of things, headed to drop. Microsoft looks like it's trading at 247.69, guys. That's above VWAP, and it's looking constructive for Microsoft. The only issue I have is it's in its liquidity. And if it goes up any higher, we know we have a bigger pocket at that 250 waiting for people to sell off into. But one positive note on the 15-minute, I've seen this thing in pre-market trade all the way down to 243.48 and had a huge wick off that bottom. So if you're looking at Microsoft, that is one positive note, that we do have buyers down here at 243.50, and it is holding the stock up for the moment. But keep in mind, it's trading under the 200-day moving average, and you know what I think about that. Gross. And speaking of gross, let's take a look at Poopy Scooper Amazon. This thing is in an area where it just wants to continue to sell off. Its next area is going to be all the way down here, somewhere in this 89. So we still got $2 more to drop before we even see this thing slowing down, as the Qs are still pulling back at 289.99. We're trading just below that 290 area on the Qs. Let's take a look at our SQs trade before we continue any further. It looks like we're up about $4.72 on our day trade. Do we hold out? Do we get out and we take a small $10 loss for the total day? Or do we see if we can continue higher and actually make it down to that VWAP area in the Qs? We could take off half, leave the other half to ride out, but we will see, because we're only up a small amount, trying to fight back from the first two small losses we took. So let's keep on moving. We'll look at Meta next. So Meta, overall with the market, was looking very strong and still is, trading well above its 200-day moving average. It's trying to hold that 170 base, and it's trading in between that 170 base and that 176 area of supply overhead. Now, if it can hold this demand at 170 or anywhere in between 170 and 176, that is looking very positive for Meta, breaking out of a bullish uptrend. So we're going to see what that happens there for that, and we will see. Oh, it looks like BRTX as well is what Mikey traded. Absolutely. I'm going to have to review that one in a little bit, Mikey. We will definitely be going over that. So be really careful if you're in any of these speculative stocks, guys. RKDA just popped up on my scanners, another push higher. Just be really careful when you're out there. And as we speak, it looks like Meta is trying to give a nice little push to the north side. So Meta is definitely one. I wrote this up on the board. If the overall market can actually shape up and we can actually see some proof of concept like we are, it's trying to shape up here. But it's going to need days, guys. It's going to need a couple days. And if we actually see the market shape up where we might have found that bottom on that, on more than one, I won't even go over it because I've already said it enough. But if we can see everything shaping up and everything looking good, and this thing actually plays a nice little role here, Meta, I think, is going to be one of those high-flying tickers again that's going to continue higher. So, guys, right here, Tesla right back up into that liquidity area that I showed you, and now it's traveling lower, which is also obviously going to bring the SPYs down along with everything else. So let's take a look at our SQ's position. Got to stay on it like a hawk because you don't want to lose a ton of money just without looking at it, guys, unless you have your stop set. If you have your stop set, then you can just go ahead and forget. But right now we don't. We're using a soft stop because I feel like I'm on top of it at least enough to know. And plus we're only in 50 shares, right? And one thing we have not looked up today is AI. Guys, yesterday I showed this to you, this huge drop. It got us out. It stopped us out. We lost about $24 on this trade. But I told you guys, if so many eyes are on it, look what happens. It clears everybody out. It hit this absolute low and cleared every single person out of it. And I told you yesterday, now I thought this was going to shape up yesterday, but I was telling you guys yesterday, once it clears this area, once this clears this out, I'm expecting to see it rip back up. That's what I expected to see. Now, it did not play out how I had planned yesterday. And I'm always going to tell you guys that. I'm always going to bring up when I'm right, and I'm always going to bring up when I'm wrong, because you need to understand that things aren't perfect in the market, okay? And check this out. It's still trying to do what I said, but it needed to come down and clear out the rest of that liquidity, okay? Because when I called it out, we still were up. We only cleared out this portion of liquidity and needed to clear out this. So it did. It ended up coming back down, clearing out this portion of liquidity, bouncing back up after it retested, and is now trying to head higher. But remember, guys, it is still has earnings after market. And I think earnings on AI are going to be very interesting. I think a lot of people are going to be very interested to see how earnings are with AI. So so AI is shaping up. If you guys want AI on the earnings, is going to be very interesting. I probably should stream it. I probably get a ton of watch views and stuff just streaming AI. I don't know. Is that something that interests you guys if I streamed AI? I don't know if we're a big enough channel to actually stream those things, but I think streaming those things can be a big deal. I don't think I'll talk throughout the whole time. I think if I can, I'll just let AI do the talking, but we'll see. So we're up to $5.90 on this trade. It looks like we're almost down to that VWAP area. It's just kind of hovering over top of it. So yeah, I don't know, guys. Do I take my money and run? And we just take an $8 loss for today? Or, do I want to see if this thing actually wants to head lower? That's all great questions, and I don't have the answers. So I'm just going to keep an eye on this thing and see what happens. I feel almost as if, we're just going to trade sideways. So, what was the real point in getting into this thing? But, we got these wick-offs on the top. I thought we could at least get down to this VWAP. So, hey, we'll see. We're going to see if this trade wants to play out for us and head lower, or we're actually going to see some positive reinforcements in this market, shaping up, trying to make us some money. We will see. Only time will tell, ladies and gentlemen. Only time will tell. So SPY trying to head back up higher now, wanting to break through that little bit of liquidity that's there, trying to get up to its 300. We want to see that thing get all the way up to the 400 area, right, guys? That way we can actually take a deep breath, we can take a deep breath, step away from the market, take a deep breath and say, ha, we're back up here to that $400 area. Thank goodness, you know? So, yes, sir. We got 19 votes right now. 19 votes in the poll. Guys, things are looking great in the poll. Let's see what you guys have to say. So if I bring up the poll here, first I want to make sure I'm live, so I'll click that live button, or I'll slide that slider all the way over to make sure I am live. Good. I'm live. Good for me. And then I'm going to scroll down here and I'm going to vote on this poll. Is it going to be above it's open, below it's open, or is it just going to trade sideways today? And it looks like 47% of us did say it was going to trade sideways. So we can go over this tomorrow and see what it was. But just while you're here voting on the poll, go ahead, scroll down, make sure you smash that like button. We are up to 16 likes. That's amazing, and I can't ask for too much more. So thank you for doing that. And if you like the content that I'm bringing to you every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 until 12, just hit that subscribe button. It's real easy, it's real gentle, and it's super free. It can't get any freer than that, ladies and gentlemen. As long as you got internet, as long as you got battery, that's what you're paying. But while you have it open, hit that subscribe button because I just love it. I love being here, and I want to do it for you, baby. So if you guys have anything that you want me to see, if you want me to see it, if you want me to trade it, then let me know so I can talk about it in chat, baby. So we are down break even on this trade, and now we are down another 77 cents on this. Is the overall market going to show us that it has proof of concept? If it can hold and head higher, we are going to be so happy, ladies and gentlemen. We want to see this market do well. We always want to see the market do well. We always need that market to do well because we all have different investing accounts. Guys, we are only here for 40 more minutes. 40 more minutes, we got to see, what's this market going to do? What does it want to do exactly? Well, I'll tell you this, guys. If it wants to go up, I'll be happy. And if it wants to come down short term, I'll be happy. Because we are short on the day trade, but we are long on the market. We want to see America win. America, America. Cheers to America. Cheers to you. And cheers to any individual that's from any other era. If you're from India, if you're from Pakistan, let me know in the chat. Hey Dave, great day. New Vision? YouTube, brother. YouTube, brother. And actually, you asked me yesterday, New Vision, where I heard you play that guitar. I heard you play that guitar on your YouTube channel. So when you subscribe to me, I clicked on yours so I can subscribe to you, and that way I could check out what you were playing. So that's where I heard you playing that music, and I absolutely enjoyed it. You had a few church hymns in there that my grandma used to sing to me. So there's a little sentimental thing for you there. So I listened to that country hymn that you played, and I really enjoyed it. So that's where I heard that, New Vision. Maybe I'll show you guys a little recording of me playing the drums or something, or some of the jiu-jitsu that I've done. Actually, I'll bring up a nice little thing that I did in jiu-jitsu. If I could do it here easily, I don't want to give you guys too many lack of words while I'm here. And it looks like the SQs, our trade is doing well. I'm glad we held on to it. We're seeing a lot of wicks on the 15 minute actually on this base, which can really tell us with 15-minute wicks on the top here, that might show us, that this has a lot of pressure over top. Just like we drew out for you on the SPY, we knew that there was some pressure there. We don't know how much is there, but it's looking like there's more than I anticipated. So this trade might actually work out for us. I'm glad I held on to it. So let me just look up. I have my most recent tournament before I had busted my knee. I actually have the most recent tournament I did. So let me just look that up. My boy Eric Molka sent it to me, so hopefully I can find that. Let's see. Actually, I know where I can find it. This will be really fast and easy. We don't want to bring all that up. Let's get this over here to the side. And we will bring up... Oh, here it is. Here it is, guys. Hope you can see that. Let's rewind it for you so you understand. I'll give you a little commentary on this. So when we start off, we always start off standing in jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu is a grappling based martial arts, and when you look at these grappling based martial arts, we want to get our opponent to the ground. That's the first thing we want to do, is get our opponent to the ground, okay? And if you guys want me just to go back to stocks, just let me know. Just let me know. But if this interests you, I'm going to go over it really quick with you. But this is what I do. This is what I like to do, but I can't do it right now because my knee is messed up. I tore my meniscus doing what I love. And this is the last tournament we were in. We started off standing. I always have a tall stance because I like judo as well. Judo is takedowns from standing, and you'll see that I actually do a nice little judo takedown on this gentleman. Very, very awesome opponent, very good guy. I just bested him today, and you know, the next time we roll, the next time we meet up, he might kick my butt. So I'm going to show you this winning roll that I had in a tournament, but just keep in mind, I've lost a lot of time so I could learn how to do things this good, okay? So as we start, I see the inside heel hook, or the inside trip. I take him right down. He lands flat on his back. I knee slice through. You can see my knee slice coming through. I keep his leg from getting in front of me. I take side control. He's trying to belly down, so I'm trying to time it so when he does, I can get my other knee in there and start to take his back. So I find my opportunity and I take his back. I get my first hook in with my right leg, and I'm trying to get the choke in with my left. As I roll him over, I choke him with his own gi, and he taps. So there's a lot going on there, guys, but right here, the whole objective is to get to the back, because then they can't protect themselves as well, and then you can try and choke them with their neck. So I do a cross collar choke. It looks like this. I'm getting one collar and one collar, and I'm choking across, and then he gets the tap. Now, that was really clean. A lot of these things aren't nearly as clean. They usually go on for a long time. I just happened to actually to work very, very well through this. It ended up working really well, taking him down, getting that knee slice, being able to maintain the control, and everything worked out really well from this tournament, okay? And I did really well, and I'm really proud of this, and that's what I'm showing you. But you got to understand, guys, it's never this easy. You know, this one was, I'm cherry picking this one for you because this was an easy match. I worked my butt off for about 6 or 7 years to get to this point where I could do stuff like this. So that's just one of many, many tournaments I've done, guys. So if you like that, you know, that's just what I do. You know, New Vision's playing guitar. I like to drum. I like to do jujitsu. I like to do anything that's hard, guys. And anything that you have to stick to learn is hard. And one of the hardest things I found is the stock market. So that's why I'm here, guys, because I found something that is so stinking hard to do. And I know if I had a hard time in the beginning, that there's a ton of people out there that are having a hard time too. If that's you and you want to learn, or you just want to hear great commentary, analysis, or heck, excerpts from my own life, guys, hit that subscribe button. I'm here every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 until 12, and I love to be here. You're not going to find another man out there with the passion that I have for the stock market. You're not going to find another commentator out there that will bring up every single chat in the chat. Okay, guys? Now, I love you, and I love to be here, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me so you can see me tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern. So let's catch up on chat. Speaking of which, we got Tesla dropped to 189. Yeah, we were looking at that old Tesla. Good old Tesla, good old Uncle Tesla. Not looking the best. That's why we drew this liquidity line out for you. And we actually talked to Rabia this morning about where our base was, where our next supply or demand area was, I should say. And we said 175. But before we come down to that 175, I said first thing this morning, guys, and I should write it down, or what I should do is do like Alex did this morning and just write, write it all down. But this is what I do instead. I make these liquidity areas out for you. And I said this morning, Rabia as my witness, that we might see a nice pop right up into this liquidity area before it starts to sell off. And that's exactly what we got here, guys. And that's exactly what's happened. So, I toot my own horn and I say, hey, look, I'm right. Look at this. Because you guys know I am a learner, and anytime I lose, we're going to point that out, and we're going to go over that too. So I just don't want to feel bad every time I go, hey, look at me, look at me. I want to also know, I want everybody to know that I go over the losers too, okay? I'm not some Greek god when it comes to trading, okay? I'm new at this. I've been doing it for, 4 or 5 years now, and I finally started seeing profitability, so I want to regurgitate that information that I have to everybody out there so you can be caught up, so we can form a community and we can all make money together. So let's do this, baby. Hit that subscribe button. So let's see. Nice. I hope your knee recovers. you know, I really, New Vision, let me get some time on that because I'm still trying to figure out Facebook. It's so silly. Rabia says, nice, I hope your knee recovers. You know, Rabia, I really hope it does too. April 19th, somewhere around there, should be my scheduled surgery. If I am scheduled for surgery, no sweat, baby. I'm still going to be here until I got to go in for surgery, and I will be here probably not standing on 2 feet, but I will be here after surgery every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 until 12, because this right here is what I love. So, let's see. New Vision says, saw you training your boys too. Yes, both of my boys, and now even my baby is doing jiu-jitsu. We're teaching them side control because it's easiest to lay into. So, guys, it looks like, let me go back to my trades really quick. And I want to see, do I want to get out here? Yeah, so this is a great spot. I took a Wick Offerson top right there, so I'm going to take 25 shares out right here. All right, so I sell the market, we get out 25, and we lock in an easy $4, right? $4. Now we're only down $5.93 for the day. Now, are we going to end up on that? I'm not sure. We might even go higher. I'm holding for a bigger move. We might go lower. So am I going to land positive or negative for today? Time will tell, but we only got 30 more minutes, so we will see. I'm not going to be flat by the time I leave here. We're going to see what the sentiment is, but I got half out. We're holding the last 25 for the bigger expected move. What is the bigger expected move? Well, the first move was down to VWAP. If we get a pop back up to VWAP and I have to get out for break even, then so be it. I made my money on this stock. Or at least this trade, I should say, not the stock, the trade. But if we can move even lower and we break through that VWAP, my next takeout is going to be this base. The breakout, the open of this morning will be my next takeout. And then that will deem me profitable for the day on my day trading trades. So let's see what else we got. Tap sounds like VWAP. Taps sound like VWAP. I saw you trading your boys too, and taps sound like VWAP. I'm not sure I get that. New Vision for Tesla. I'm waiting for it to go a bit lower, then I'll dollar cost average in. I hold long until there is a major pullback expected. Rabia, I know that you were talking to New Vision, but hey, I read it out loud so everybody could hear it. No secrets. Secrets don't make friends. So yeah, Tesla's getting that big pullback that we anticipated this morning, and this thing, I'm expecting the pullback to head even lower. I'm expecting this pullback to come down to that 175 area and hopefully base out so we can see Tesla trading above its 200-day moving average before the middle of the year. So we will see if that's what's going to happen. So he said, hey, bring out the crystal ball, and he brought up OKTA. So we were looking at OKTA this morning. Why? Because we had a bigger gap up than we had anticipated. So it was a nice surprise. Opening up at 9%, but it gapped up to about 12 or 13. That's what caught our attention. We were waiting for the 5-minute range break, and we got the 5-minute range here, and we didn't like it because it didn't happen right away. It made too big of a range, and this thing just sold off way too much. Sold off way too much at open. I took it off my watch list. So OKTA is actually breaking the lows of that 5-minute range. So yeah, that's a big no-go, and it looks like it's going to head even lower. So I'm going to bring down this chair right now because I need to give my foot a little rest. So we are coming down, bringing things down, reverting back to the mean, bouncing off VWAP, making things look clean. Yes, sir-ree. I do need to get a crystal ball. Me and B were actually talking about that yesterday. We were talking about how I should just get a crystal ball. So if anybody's like, hey, what does this go to? You know, they want very specific questions answered. I can, grab the crystal ball and like shake it and like, it's not working today, and like set it down. That could be a thing, right? I like that idea, B, and I think we should definitely do that. But if you notice how cheap I am, brother, I won't spend money on anything unless it's food. And even that, we found a way to make it as cheap as possible because I love to budget, guys. And if you don't like to budget, well, that's okay. You're going to waste a lot of your money. And why do I say that? Well, it's pretty simple, guys. I started a budget because I thought I was good with my money. And I thought, I don't need a budget, but we're going to do it anyway because if I'm starting up a YouTube channel and I'm going to preach about all the finances and all the budgeting and I'm going to do all that crap, well, then in that case, I need to make sure I do my due diligence. So, well before the stream started up, my wife and I, and I say my wife and I, but she keeps me up on it, right? So, we have a total from January to February. We just started March, but right here, just give you a quick glimpse. Like, this is what it looks like, guys. It's that simple. You just take all your bills and you put them all in one area. Once you put them in that area, you know it's contested for. You write down exactly what it's for, and then at the end of the month, you bring everything together and you figure out, hey, how can we make this more, we can separate it from these are bills. This is pay. This is, snacks. This is groceries. This is gas. And you can get everything exactly how it's supposed to be. And when it is like that, well, what happens is you start realizing, hey, I'm spending this much on monsters every day. I'm spending this much on snacks every day. And you start to realize, hey, I could save an extra $300 a month if I just simply just stop buying monsters, right? X amount of dollars for this, X amount of dollars for this, X amount of dollars for this. Guess what? Now I drink coffee. Now I drink an $7 to $11 can of Aldi's coffee because why? Well, I clearly want to save money and I want to do it better than my wife. And we have a little competition. We're very competitive people. Actually, when we met racing each other. We wanted to race each other. Our first date, we met on a high school track and we raced a mile and I won. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I beat her. Okay, she might tell you the story a little different, but I did win and she cannot deny that fact. As RKDA is breaking out, it broke out earlier, but keep in mind the range on this thing is like 20 cents, guys. It's trading at 16.73, but what a push up. I had a stock split just the other day. DHC really ramping up there, trading at $1.06 now, just pushing up today, higher and higher, not looking back as we speak, $1.64. Goodness gracious. BRTX did not hold that area and is starting to head lower, so we will see what wants to happen with that. As ONCS, it found that top, that pre-market top, and it went right up to it. It broke just above it, actually, just above it, and then fails and goes straight down and is going to come right back down to these areas. So we're going to see how that works out. And I know we have TRKA still looking absolutely wonderful, well above the area that it originally broke out of this morning. Now, if this thing can keep trading sideways, we might see another trade on this thing. Goodness gracious, TRK. What a lot of volume behind it. So Baba still selling off. And we talked about this past 2 days. We talked about this when New Vision brought up the gap up. We looked all the way back at every single gap up that it's had. Any gap up, even this one, even a gap up with a push, still sold off, guys. So every single gap up, heck, even every single gap down has sold off. There's no denying it. So first thing, when he brought it up, the first thing I said is this gap up, I'd be weary. It's in the supply area, but remember that there is some demand down here. So this would have been a great trade, but I would suggest getting out now. Or at least taking profit now. Why? Well, simply because we don't want this to be a loser trader. If you're shorting and you want it to go lower, well, that's fine, but at least make some money off of it if you're sitting in this demand area. So, when your boy tap out, winner, yeah. Oh, when I roll with my kid, yeah. Actually, I made him roll with me yesterday. I had him, I was like getting my close guard, which just means I put my legs around him and then I try to attack him, from being inside my legs. And he gave me the big eye roll because he's playing with his friends, and I was like, come on, just let your dad, mess around a little bit. Let me do a couple sweeps and a couple chokes, and he's like, all right, dad, rolls his eyes. But that's my boy. That's why I love him, because they still care for me. They know dad needs to do some jiu-jitsu. If not, I'll go crazy. So looks like we are up $7.25 on this trade now. Our grand total on the SQs is we're down $1.96. I could get out now and we could call it break even, but I'm still looking for a bigger move. Maybe I take out another 5 shares right here, just to lock in some more of those profits, but we're just going to hold on to it. We're just going to see, because I'm pretty happy with what's going on with it. Let's take a look at the Qs and maybe the overall sentiment of the market, and that'll help me understand. So it looks like, yeah, Microsoft is continuing to break down. It's looking like, if it wants to catch here, I can understand it catching here. But I don't see it really doing much of anything here. SPY also still grassy gnome, that top there, still looking like it wants to sell off. We're going to see what it wants to do in this VWAP area, because we did have some wicking Wickofersons off at this bottom. And if it wants to push up again, I think it still has to test this VWAP before we have anything else to do. And it might do it while we're talking. So the IWM had still a push off this base, but like everything else, wicking off on the top. Same thing Netflix. Same thing with Microsoft, same thing with, Amazon didn't even decide to hang out. It decided to take its push forward and fall off the face of the earth now while everybody else is, before everybody else is. Meta still holding out at 172.64, trading sideways. You know, that's what we want to see for Meta if you are looking to be a bull in Meta to see if it's healthy. Speaking of bull, let's look at Boyle. It looks like Boyle, we are down on the day $6.20, but it's doing exactly what I asked it to, guys. It's showing support down here at the 669, 675 area. And what we want to do is we want to see it push back up, because I want to see it create a little flag in this area. And when I say flag, I actually mean handle. Okay, I want to say a handle. So with this VWAP bottom like this and it coming back up to the top and it trading out in this area, we need to show that it's going to hold this top. This is where it sold off last time, guys, and that's right where I bought it. Right where it sold off the last time, because it pushed up through and it came back to test it. I like when it comes back to test. It came back to test. We got in at $7 even, and I like that psychological level. So now it's trading in that area. We're at 673. And if it wants to break down from this area, I'll take that small loss. That's no big deal. Guys, bye, Granny Randy. Granny Randy's out of here. Goodbye, Grandma. We do appreciate you. Thank you so much for your time, your effort, and all your energy. And not to mention, those chocolate chip pancakes are absolutely delicious. So cheers to you, Grandma. I hope you have a great, blessed day, and you have a great night. Now, guys, Boyle, we're going to see what this wants to do, right? We're going to see what that wants to do. And, you know, hopefully it continues to make us money or lose us less money. So now we are up about $9 on this trade, this last half of this trade. It's looking good. You know, this is definitely what we wanted to see. It took us 3 tries to get this, but sometimes you need to be consistent, but you need to cut your losses quick. You need to know where your losses are set so that way you can make more money on the bigger expected move. So with the overall market looking like it's going to fail and it looks like crap, I'm just going to hold out onto this probably until closer to the end of the day, and we'll see how it looks there. If it looks like it's going to touch this top, or in our case, touch this bottom in Qs, and we don't see anything riveting, we don't see anything spectacular, ship shaping up, or nothing looks good, well, what is going to happen there, guys? What is going to happen there? It's probably going to fail. Right, so we will see. Only time's going to be able to tell. This thing could just completely, you know, shape up and go straight to the moon for us too. So, guys, we're going to end the poll. Looks like we got 21 votes. Awesome. We're going to end that poll at 11:38, and let's go over right here. It should say in the poll. I hope you guys can see it. How will the market close today? Sideways, 42%, above 38%, and below says 19%. So as of where we're at right now, I would consider this thing sideways right now for lunchtime. But remember, guys, we got power hour after lunchtime. I won't be here for it. So if you are, please be careful when you trade it, because it can be pretty volatile. So we'll see if power hour wants to show some proof of concept in the Qs of the SPY and head on higher, or if it's going to continue its sell-off and trade below the 200-day moving average. So Qs are below that 200-day moving average, as to where SPY, it looks like, is trading right on that 200-day moving average. So we will see what's happening. New Vision popped in to say 393.53 on the SPY. Yes, sir. We are on it. We are watching. It is on that VWAP area as we speak. So, will we actually get a bounce off this VWAP? Will it shape up? I do not know. My crystal ball is broken. Actually, we don't even have a crystal ball right now, guys. I'm not going to lie. We don't have a crystal ball right now, but if you want to send me one, we'll give it a shake, we'll give it a shingle, and we will see if it can make your buds tingle. That's what we're going with, and I'm going to stick with it. That's right. I said it, and you heard it here first, baby. If you like it, or even if you don't, hit that subscribe button, because I'm here every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 until 12, baby. We love it, and if you love it even half as much as I do, you want to be subscribed to this channel, because we keep it passionate, we keep it lively, and we are your commentator. You tell us what we're trading in the market, and we will be sure to go over it on a constant. Speaking of which, CDIO, Mikey's going to take a look at this, and I don't know how he feels when he sees his trade drop, but he is flat. He made his money on this trade. He is already out, but look at this. CDIO not holding up in this area, breaking that $7 area that we talked about, and now right here into this $6 liquidity area. You can see it touched, it made a little break up because it found some support. But what do you think is going to happen here? If we don't see a big wicky-wick offer send and it get back up to that $7 area, well then CDIO is on my watch list for a tanking, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to tank. But these aren't buy or sell recommendations. I'm just a big talking head with a big old chin right here in front of you every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 till 12. So don't believe anything I say. Do your own due diligence. I'm trying to teach out here, not get blamed for your losses. So make sure you start with a stop. Make sure you know what you're willing to risk, what you're willing to lose. And if you cannot figure that out and explain that to me, then you don't need to be trading. You need to be paper trading to learn how to take big boy trades, okay? So CRM, we were keeping an eye on that this morning and it just failed. OKTA, same distance, failed at the open. So let's look at FSLR to see how that thing's doing. Look at that. Now that is what you want to see in a high flyer like FSLR. It made a huge gap up, and then at the 5-minute break, the range, it traded even higher, ever higher. And when it came down to test that VWAP, it decided to head on even higher. And then this morning, as it opened, it traded sideways and continues to trade sideways with the overall market looking like complete dog doo-doo. So when you have a high flyer not only holding its gap up gains from earnings, but pushing higher and holding over VWAP, only coming back down to test previous day VWAP, only to get bought up on a 15-minute wicky wicker send, next thing you know, this thing trades sideways. It looks really good for First Solar. So congratulations to any of you that got in this. I know some of you took contracts yesterday and made some money to the north side and probably are wishing that you still held on to them, but contracts with that time decay, ugh, yucky, yucky. So let's see, the SPY, the SQs, we're still up about $6.97 on this. Let's check our other trades. Boyle, it looks like Boyle is doing exactly what we anticipated, getting that bounce off that 675, showing us some proof of concept on this trade. So that being said, will it break through 7 again? Will it head even higher? I do like my odds on this, but we will see because only time will tell. I don't have my crystal bell. I had to say bell, it only rhymed that way. EMBC did bounce off that upward trending line. It did hold, so I will hold, and we will see if we want to make some more money later. XM, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, XM? So if XM keeps creating a new higher low, I'm going to stick it out and hope for the best. And I say hope respectfully because we know hoping doesn't make you money. So we got a slight bounce, New Vision says, in SPY. Yeah, we are expecting to see a chop around a little bit right here, I imagine, just because we are at the highs and we are at the VWAP, right? So we came up here, I showed you this little bit of a liquidity pool, and look at that cute little liquidity pool. It just touched it. Just freaking touched it, guys. Absolutely amazing. And now look, VWAP, VWAP, VWAP. So VWAP, we're going to see a little bit of turbulence in VWAP. If we put it on the 1 minute, you'll see that turbulence a little bit more. A little bit of turbulence here. But what am I expecting? Well, look at this. We have all of this area, this 393, and it's trading below it. So if we have all these people overhead and we're at VWAP and we're not getting a big bounce here, well, we're either going to get a big bounce now, creating a new lower high on the 1 minute, or what's going to happen? All these people overhead aren't going to believe in what's going on, and they're going to sell off into it. If we break down below that VWAP, we might even be able to print more money on our short sale trade on the market. But if not, and this thing wants to head higher, it will stop us out for our small gains. So we will see what it wants to do. We are up $7.25 on the trade, but I am holding out for the bigger expected move. We've already taken half of our share size out of this, and we are using the other half to try and actually catch a bigger move. So we will see what the SPY, what the Qs, and what everything wants to do's. In the meantime, if I'm not talking about what you want, then you need to tell me in the chat what you want me to talk about, because I can't talk about it if we're not going to be about it. We're not reading Braille here. Let's talk about it. I can read, baby. I can read, baby. So put up what you want me to talk about in the chat, and it will get talked about. We can talk about what we're being about, baby. So Santa is bringing you the crystal ball. He needs the address. Well, New Vision, if you're Santa, I will send you my address gladly, but don't kill me, please. Don't show up and kill me. Only kidding. We'll talk about that outside of chat because people might get a little silly. But yeah, we just need a crystal ball in here, right, New Vision? You send me a crystal ball, I'll shake it for you every single day. Absolutely. But I don't want anybody sending me anything because you know I won't ever ask of anything on this show. I will never ask of anything on the show. Heck, if I give you anything that you need to spend money on, it's going to be book recommendations. And today, our book recommendation is right here. This is called a complete guide to volume price analysis. If Beyond the Harbor is here, he will tell you exactly why I am giving you, or I'm trying to get you to buy this book. That gentleman there, this is the very first book I actually bought to help me understand volume and its importance. Even after reading this book more than one time, I found that I still did not understand volume as well as I should. Why do I say that? Well, I learned what I needed to learn about volume, but I still wasn't focused on volume as much as I should, right? So that being said, guys, when you read this book, we need to start looking at volume more often. And I say that out loud because that is something that I always need to look at. I remember going over charts and trades with Stu, my buddy Stu, the one that joins us every single morning and says good morning. He said to me the one day, he said, hey, but did you look at the volume? You know, and it's like, you know what? I did, but I didn't really take into account that it was, you know, falling, you know, in volume. So, you know, there's a lot of things. If you guys want to look at that kind of stuff, this is a book. It's cheap. I think it's like $10 by Anna Cooling. It is a complete guide to volume price analysis. It's definitely a buyer, a reader, and a multiple reader once you understand a little bit more about volume. So it's definitely one that I'm going to be going back through again. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the SPY is going to give us what it wants right here at this 393.59. Sitting on VWAP. It doesn't want to bounce. Doesn't look like it. This thing might actually come down on its head. But we want to see the overall SPY do better, obviously. But in a day trade, in a day trading scenario, we would love to print good, delicious tendies on this because we are shorting the market right now, holding on to that last piece to see what we want to do with it. So I think this will be my line in the sand, this previous 15-minute candle. If it breaks above this 15-minute candle, I think I want to be out and we'll just take our winnings and leave. But if it doesn't want to hold out and it wants to break down, well then that's a-okay because then we can make some money. So I don't know if I said that right, but we want the Qs to go higher, and if they don't, we'll make more money. If not, we are going to get out right here on the SQs because we are going to take our gains. We want to lock in our profits and make sure we are continuing to make that money every single day here on the show. So if you're new to the show, I am Dave. This is LoFiTrader. I'm only here for 15 more minutes. We've been here since 8 a.m. Where the heck have you been? Well, what do we do here at 8 a.m.? We do pre-market prep. We make sure we know the levels. We know where the liquidity is, and we can make some money. We extrapolate money every single day out of this market. Sometimes they're winners, sometimes they're losers, but you are a loser unless you are learning. So make sure you know the motto, baby. You're a loser unless you're learning, because we want to learn every single day from either the good trades or the bad trades that we make. We are going to do it here in front of you every single day. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for being with us. And if any of that helps you or you think that might be entertaining to you, hit that subscribe button, baby, because we want an ever-growing community. So we got, ho, 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 yeah, New Vision is Santa. New Vision is Santa. Bring in the gifts, baby. Let's check out Boyle. Boyle looks like it's just hanging out here. Doesn't know what it wants to do. But we're going to keep a close eye on Boyle because we have about 25 shares in this, and we want this thing to moon. We want this thing to go to the moon. We got Sim S, which I think her name is actually Anna. And that's not her real name. I'm just using her name. But Anna, because I can't remember S. Sims for some reason. This is what Anna told me to get into. And I couldn't agree more, because when you brought this up, Anna, if you're still listening, when you brought this stock up to me, I was so impressed by the way it looked. It being an ETF moving 11%. But now today its percentage is down to 10.6%. So we'll see if this thing wants to continue being a big mover. Because if not, well, and it makes bored. You guys know I want out of these stocks pretty quickly if I get bored. So we will watch Boyle, and hopefully it shapes up for us and makes us some money. So we will see. It looks like we're up still $6.50 on this trade. It's still looking good. It's still making us some money, and it looks like it's creating new lower highs in this VWAP area. So this thing might really break down right here. So I just want to see what we got for available funding for today. Yeah, not much left, but I almost want to add into this trade, this short right here, this popping a VWAP, you know. Give me 1 second here. I just want to keep an eye. We only got 10 minutes left in the show. I don't think I'm going to pull any more triggers or spin any more keys. I do like the way this is trading. If this stops us out, we'll take the win and we will leave it as it is, but the market actually might hold up for us today, guys. That would be absolutely awesome. It looks like it's creating new lower highs on the 1 minute. Let's see how the hourly is looking, ladies and gentlemen. I am absolutely loving this. So the hourly still looks like complete dog crap, but if we can create these new lower highs and we are out of our trade, so a grand total of negative $4.46 that we have lost on the SPY. So small loser today, guys. Small loser for the day, but that's okay. Some days you're going to win, some days you're going to lose, and that's a-okay. If you haven't lost money in the market, then you haven't ever traded before. So today was a small loser. That's a-okay. We're going to put that in the trader view. We're going to figure out what we did right, what we did wrong, and I can tell you right off the rip, you guys remembered, I even pointed it out for you on the SPY. I said this thing looks like it's going to come right up into this area right here. That's what I think. That's my thoughts, not yours. And next thing you know, it came up and touched. But what's the issue here? I'll tell you what the issue is. It's pretty simply put. I drew out the lines and then I traded outside of that. I took a trade right here on the pre-market top. I took another trade right here, I do believe at a triple top. And then when it finally all was said and done, I got in one more time right where I wanted to get in, but on the SQ. And then we finally actually made some money because we were patient and we waited for our setup. When we didn't, we lost money. When we didn't, we lost money. But when our setup finally came in and we found the appropriate area to take a short, well, look what happened. We actually made some money off this trade, guys, and we took, what was it? Half out right here. So we're making a small percentage for the day, very small percentage. But best thing is we fought back and we took a very, very small loss for the day. We could have taken a bigger loss on the day, but instead we made sure it was confined and very small. So, and look at this, guys. We had this little pop-up that scared me out, and this thing might have the overall sell-off, and that is going to be part of day trading, right? So if you want to take money, you extrapolate money, you take profits when you can, and we took profits when we could. So I'm going to be a-okay and happy with the trading day for the day. So let's just run through the indices really quick before we have to head on out because we only have 8 minutes left. So the SPY trying to shape up above that VWAP area as well as IWM. And it looks like Netflix is just trading sideways, still looking like it might want to fall off. Let's take a look at ONCS. And it does look like it is trying to recover. So that ONCS, like I told you, right here is the area it needs to hold, is 222. We want to see it trade sideways for a while to show some more proof of concept. It is trading above that original base back here from 118. So it is starting to give it a nice little pull, but we talked about this top and it breaking down. We need to see it hold somewhere. We need to see it hold, trade sideways so we can continue higher, right, guys? So we're going to see if that's what it wants to do. ONCS looking pretty good, as where Microsoft still wicking off on the tops there and Amazon still trading lower, as Meta made a nice push towards its supply area but couldn't even make it up there and is now selling off. Nvidia just trading sideways today. It is above its VWAP and it is trading above its 10-day moving average. So this might be good for Nvidia in the next couple days to shape up on that 10-day moving average if it wants to hold in these areas to head on higher. So if we're starting to see proof of concept in the market and across tickers, across the SPY, across the Qs, and they do want to shape up, then we will make a beautiful list, a beautiful watch list that I already started behind me here, guys. And once we have that list in, then we can just drop that money when we see the market turning around, okay? But like I've been telling you guys in the beginning, the market has been looking overall crappy. There's so many different areas that we needed to shape up all the way back when the SPY, we were looking at it at that 410. We were looking at that 410 area way up here, guys. Way up here, we talked about it. We talked about everything that we needed to see to shape up. And we said, you know, if it breaks down this 410, well, then we're going to look for shorts. And sure as heck, things are happening. Things are getting short. So we need to be careful now down in this area because we're at the 200-day moving average. We said it could pull back to here. If it breaks down from here, we're probably going to go down to 180. But we are shaping up here. It is trying to hold at least this 200-day moving average. So if it can and we can push higher, let's make some money doing so, okay? So we're going to keep an eye on all of that. We got 10 of you in here still. So if you don't know me, my name is Dave. Dave from LoFiTrader. I'm here every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 until 12. I'm only here for another 5 more minutes. So hit that like, hit that subscribe so you can be here tomorrow morning for pre-market prep with me. We do everything from long-term strategy investment to day trading to mid-cap, long, swing trading, short, doesn't matter. We do it here and we do it with passion, baby. So Brian Wong says, trying to get into TRKA. What are the support levels to get into? Brian, thank you for popping in here. We do appreciate that. We'll go over TRKA right now for you. We have been watching TRKA for the past couple days. I talked about how the levels right here with the amount of volatility that was in this area, it sold off, came back up, recovered, and then sold off, but hold new higher lows and pushed up through, breaking this area. Once it broke this area, it came back to retest. It traded sideways and pushed up higher. So when I look at TRKA, the only area that I'm seeing that stands true is this 39.40 cent area. That's it right now. This doesn't mean a whole lot because there's not a lot of liquidity here. Okay, there's a lot of liquidity in this area, but it's not such a highly traded area that, you know, we're going to just say that that's 100%, you know. But personally, I still like this 40 cent area. It's pushed up so much past that we don't really have anything above. Now, if we look back on previous days, we have a nice little bout of liquidity at this 75 cent area. So if we can get up to that 75 cent area, I think we probably will see some selling off. But what's going to happen from there to there, I don't know just yet. We had the selling off and it formed this base. This base was key. This base is key because now I have a stop level, okay? But when we're up here, I don't know where my stop is. What I would want to see is this thing kind of trickle down maybe tomorrow and then bounce off this area, or even hang out here and trade sideways, forming a whole new base like it did here. So if it pushes up, comes down, trade sideways, this is the push up, comes down, maybe trade sideways. That's what I'd be looking for. But on a bigger swing term, what I personally look for, Brian Wong, would be for this 10, 21, or 30-day moving average to catch up to it so it can squat down. It can look really tight on its range. And if you want to know how I trade that, I need to make a video on that breakout strategy exactly. But that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for these 10-day, 21-day, and 30-day moving average to catch up to it, and then for it range to really tighten up, so that way it can break out higher. So Brian says, awesome, thank you for the answering. Brian, if you haven't, hit that subscribe button, buddy. I'm here every single day, and I know some people are weird about hitting that subscribe button, but if you want to see me, I'll pop up in your feed, and you can join us. We're trying to create a amazing community of like-minded traders. We look at everything from small caps to large caps. We go over everything, and if I'm not going over it, that's all you got to do. Pop up in the comments, and bam, I give you the technical analysis within seconds of you putting it in the comments. I love the comments because I love my community. I'm only here because you are here. And if you're not here, then I disappear. Right? I think so. At least that's how some things work. So we won't go into the scientific of watching particles, because you know a particle can be more than one spot at once, only if you're observing it, right? That's that Schrodinger's cat stuff, guys. If you don't get it, that's okay. We'll have a laugh. That's some smarty pants stuff. I just like to flex my genius once in a while. Genius. Yeah, I know. Far from it. But ladies and gentlemen, my show is almost over. We only have 2 minutes. So I'm going to use this time to go over my trades and a little self-preservation. So Boyle, looks like it's just hanging. It's lingering. I'm going to keep an eye on this. If it wants to break down in this area, I'm going to set my stop loss for the rest of the day. We're going to put it right here at this 25. If I got to lose $6 for this try, it's something that I would try again. So I'm okay with it. We will see. EMBC, it needs to hold out this uptrend line for me to want to hold on to this losing trade. We have been doing really well with this trade, and I still really like it as a cup and handle form, but I haven't done too much into this. So how David did yesterday. So New Vision, actually, he won his Class 1 first place, and he took home the championship. So thank you so much for asking for that, because it means a lot to him, and it means a lot to me. So New Vision, yes, he beat the Quiz Bowl, and his IDA took the championship home, baby. So awesome job to all of the IDA competitors. Congratulations to you. XM, now we've been holding on to XM simply because it's traded sideways in that $17 area. I even ended up adding the XM because of that $17 area, and it's looking mighty lofty. I like it, I like it, I like it. And then, of course, right before we leave, guys, we'll take one more trippy look at SPY. And SPY did finally bounce off that VWAP, and we might get that sideways action that we all were voting for. We had 21 votes in the poll today, and we guessed that we were going to trade sideways. 42% of us said sideways and 38% above the open. Well, right now we are above the open, and we are still kind of trading sideways. So we will see what happens. Will it trade above or below? We won't know until later on today. So thank you guys so much for being a part of this. I absolutely love this community that we have. So you guys join the Discord if you need more information or you want to talk to me after this. Discord's the place to find it. It is in the chat. You can find it in the chat. I've already done it once. So